All right. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. False start there. We're good. I'm Marlo. Tonight we are, or tonight, this morning. I don't play morning games. That's interesting. That's an interesting change of my vocabulary. Um, I'm Marlo, and tonight to this morning, we'll be playing Mork Borg. We are playing a specific module written by Fleet Diedrich. It's called Vanity Bleeder. Check it out. You can find it over on her itch. I will post that at the end because I forgot to grab that link, but I'll post it at the end. Check us out. So today, again, we're doing Extra Life. So I know I believe we said we made like 800 some odd dollars on it. I don't have the Twitch stream pulled up right now, so I don't have it in front of me, but eight 880, and we've only gotten one day so far. We've only done one day so far, so I know we're gonna blow this out of the water. I'm very excited to be here, very excited to be doing this. So we're raising money for Extra Life to benefit BC Children's Hospital. We're 860, so we're halfway past our goal to reach 1,500. And you can find the donation link by typing ! Extra Life in the chat. Valdrianth is also matching her sub points. So if you don't want to go that route, she's going to match it every dollar for sub points. So for the month of November. And then so if you have Twitch Prime sub just hanging around, you can do that, and then it'll be a great way to donate for a great cause. Use those sub points. I don't use them, so mine go to waste. But anyway, hi, how's it going? I'm Marlo. I am here running this game. I am dressed crazily right now, and very confused when I look at myself in the stream camera. So I'm gonna have to block it in a second. But hey, how's it going? I have a great cast here today. Very excited to be a little spooky, be a little ooky, be a little thrillery, and run this game. So let's go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves. I'm looking at Zoom, so I'm going to start out with Jay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jay, also known as Neofet3 in the socials. I go by he, him pronouns. I'm excited, and thank you so much for asking me to play. I've played this once, so I'm excited to play this game again. I will be playing Scargor, our Fang deserter, who is interesting. I will say that much. But yeah, that's me. We'll get a little bit just more descriptions in a little bit later.
Yeah, definitely. You use he, him pronouns as well, right, Jay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. Let's go over to Jim.
Greetings, humanity. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and today I am playing Graf, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is a gutterborn scum. I too have never played Mork Borg before. I've never actually been on this channel before. Hi, but very excited to jump into it and see what happens.
Perfect. Very excited. Katie.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie. I use she, they pronouns. I'm going to be playing Torn, who uses they, them pronouns. And I've never played Mork Borg before, but fair warning, the random character I generated, the exact things has a permanent phlegm deposit in their throat. So I am leaning in heavy to that today. So get ready. I am nothing but committed to the bit.
A little phlegmy. You fit right in with me, I'll tell you that. I always got a little phlegm happening situation. Great. Yeah, so like I said, I'm Marlo. I use she, they pronouns. I am very excited. I've played Mork Borg twice before this, so y'all bear with us as we remember the rules and move forward. So yeah, I am still trying to get that link. My life is a terrible, horrible mess all the time, so bear with me. But yeah, Vanity Bleeder is a lot of fun. I had the very express pleasure, I guess is the word I'm trying to get across, of playing this with Fleet while she was playtesting it over on Lost Caravan. And it was a lot of fun, and so I wanted to run it too. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump in if everyone's ready. Let me get my little opener up. All right. Oh, the sorrow of the heretic house. The creaking bones still sip the Bacchus blood that once did fill these halls. The debauched luxury of the regent patriarch did bring the long line to ruin, orgiastic and primal in the face of decay. The final daughter dwells within, slick with ichor and desire. The dire hostess, the golden, masked, miraculous, sits atop the ruins of her father's cult. All heirs have been murdered. Any drop of blood in the vein, and the sickly bell will whine again. But who has decided the fate of the heirs? And can those who enter leave again before the final year is upon them? This is Vanity Bleeder. So, we start out with a group who already knew each other. You heard the stories. Some of you were here because you heard there was a party. Others here to do a little, get a little 5-finger discount. Others even can't get the masked miraculous herself out of their head, haunting them in their dreams. So as the three of you walk up to this manor, it's in a state of decay. You'd heard through the grapevine that it was. But truly, as you look up, you can tell, though, sort of like a deflated balloon, the top 2 stories have caved in, leaving only the bottom and whatever's below. As you gaze up at the rich marble, standing in front of a decrepit-looking porch, you notice black ivy creeping its way across the front of this manor. And although it's old and decrepit, the white against the black, the white marble, is nearly blinding. You've arrived. Dare you ring the bell? Dare you climb that porch and step inside?
Standing there, Gargor looks up, turns to his group. Disappointing. I thought we'd have more floors to party on. Oh well.
No, I bet they got a lot of nice spoons in there. At the very least, if nothing else.
You've been talking about spoons for an awful long time.
I don't know, they fascinate me for some reason.
The
We just talk about come days they used to make them out of things other than wood. I think they might have some of them in there. Precious metals.
Do you think they have silver?
Oh, I can only dream, you know.
It's supposed to be fancy, you know.
Yeah.
Fancy place. You can take the spoons. I'm just here to party.
Have as much fun as you like. It makes a good distraction.
Okay, I can do that.
I think Torn clears their throat, adjusts the eye patch over their eye, and walks up to the door. And I don't think they knock. I think they just if it's got a handle, they're gonna see if it's unlocked or locked.
So when you step up onto the stairs, let's go ahead and get a roll right quick.
Okay.
Because this place is it's not great. Let me pull up the Can y'all hear my dog? She's making a lot of. Can you calm down? Hello, excuse me. Let's see. let's try agility. So roll a d20 and then add that.
So I have
Difficulty roll.
something in my equipment that says I have a +4 on agility test. Does that count?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Well, that's good because I rolled a 3, so that is an 8 because I have a +5 in total.
Great. Great. Great.
Is it great? Is it great,
you-
Marlo?
Yeah, it's great. I'm feeling okay about it. So as you walk up and you step on that, you get to the top step, you feel a little creak, but it holds. The second step, you feel another creak, a little bit of a groan, in fact, but it still holds. That third step, though, it's a Lulu. And the board itself cracks. And your foot falls through. Let's see. Let me look at what's your HP again?
7.
Oh.
We haven't played for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you feel the splintered wood grab into your calf as it slides down, and as you pull it back out, the only way to pull it out, it's like one of those like crab traps. Like you're gonna get back out, you're gonna scratch yourself.
Yeah.
So as you pull back up, you feel it rake the other direction after it just raked the first way. Take a point of damage.
So
That's it. A point.
on my
point.
armor, if I have minus d6 damage, do I roll a d6 to negate that?
You're asking hard questions. Starting hard with this. Let me take a look. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, combat, and then nope, that's not what we're looking for. Armor ties, minus a whatever you roll on your armor will minus the. Am I saying that right? Is everyone in agreement and that's the way that works?
It
Yes.
says minus d6, so I'm assuming it's whatever you roll, it negates it.
Yep. Yep.
I rolled a 6, so
Oh,
actually,
perfect.
I'm good.
So you feel the way it as it scrapes on your armor, and you know that it would have dug into the meat, the delicious meats of your leg. So as you wrench back out, you thank the gods for your armor.
Except I
Give me your
don't.
armor.
I don't. I curse the gods. I'm a
Curse the
I'm a
gods.
heretic.
Curse the gods. Thank yourself for buying the armor.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Torn, like it is a whole like it's a whole act for them to get out of this thing. Like they are very over the top and dramatic about it. And as they finally get up and like brush themselves off, they're like, I just got this armor taken care of. God damn the gods. And then just steps up further to the door.
You know, you keep saying that. That's why things like this keep happening. I'm just saying.
Maybe if if the gods were real and you believed like you said you did, then I wouldn't be falling through things.
Logic?
Torn.
I
know I don't have to say this, but watch your step.
Yeah, you know they're not here to help us, right? They're here to. Never mind.
Wiping their nose and angrily.
So you go up, and as you put your hand to the door, it swings open. There's a rather. She's rather plain looking maid. She looks startled to see you so close. Oh, pardon. I heard a noise and I thought there was someone out here. I guess I was right.
Perfectly fine. I just fell a little bit. You should probably I don't think your steps here are up to code. You should probably get those checked.
Whose code? What code?
The city's code? I don't really know. There's a code. There's always a code.
Oh, I shall have to talk to the lady about that. Hi, I'm Arya. What brings you all here? Come in. Sure, certainly. My manners. And she steps back and waits very patiently for the three of you to walk in. The rest of you are fine. Torn. They caught the step. They caught the bad step.
You all know about it now.
Yeah, you know.
Hi.
Yeah. Damn, I don't have. Yeah, I picked up a little stick, and I'm just kind of in the in the edge of whatever banister there is. I've kind of using the stick to kind of in the mud to sort of scroll out a little symbol, and that basically is the rogue sign for bad step. And so sorry, just putting in the code there. That's right.
It's a hobo code.
Yeah, yeah. It's hobo sign basically.
As you all sort of step into this foyer area, it's almost overwhelming. This sort of smell of perfume, very floral, rose sort of scent, and you can see even that there are rose petals scattered around here. And from the distance, you hear this melodic plunking of a harp. And looking around this room, you could tell that in its day, this was the place. It was set up to be just beautiful. The place where your guests first see when they enter the home. Everything is set as it should be and is nice and neat and clean, but the decay is obvious. Hiding some of that sort of mildewy sort of nastiness behind it. There's two tapestries. And at first, you're like, oh, beautiful tapestries. The colors are nice. But as you start to kind of look at them, you notice that they're bodies in different positions and engaged in acts that are totally debased. Like, just, I mean, this is debate. This is showing some of the, like, and this is imagery that you don't get to see very often in this world. Art is hard to come by, and when you find it, it's usually very baseline. This is something from a very long time ago that someone made a very long time ago, and it is explicit.
It's like a Mork Borg OnlyFans tapestry.
Yeah.
Cool.
$3 monthly
Cool.
for this one.
Good to know.
The petals are laid almost as like rushes would be in a lower end home. These rose petals, and the staircase you can see is broken. It's unusable, and even if you could, you can see already where you can see pieces of caved in roof. It's not manageable to get up there. And then as far as the layout goes, when you walk in, it's a sort of a long hallway. There are windows to your left side, and as you look to the right, there's a coat closet, but there's also two doors on your right hand side, going up. I might be speaking incorrectly. I think I'm looking at the wrong room. No, actually, that's not what it looks like. Sorry, you walk in and it goes like this.
Shit.
It goes around like this, and there's a coat closet to your to your front left, and you can see the stairs. No, to your back, right to your left, and then you can see the stairs. I can read a map eventually, and the stairs go up to the right, and they're useless. Right? Cool.
Are the rose petals fresh, or are they like wilted?
So they're fresh. They're laid daily. It looks like they're fresh enough that very little stepping upon them has happened. They're, you can see maybe where Arya walked this way, but it looks pretty fresh, surprisingly. You get the distinct suspicion that when you smell this heavy scent, it's hiding. There's something just below the surface of that scent, sort of like this sort of edge of rot almost.
Being the suspicious person that I am, I'm going to stick behind my party mates, like relatively close, but I'm also secretly using them for like cover while I try to snoop in any open doorways, closets, anything I can get my little one working eye in. That's what I'm gonna look at.
Yeah. Right as Arya is about to shut the door from outside, you hear a holler. and she rolls her eyes. Here, nothing but a penny, that's all I ask. Please. And as you look back, you see from the edge of the roof, these two little legs flop down and start like kicking. Just a penny, that's all. And as you and as he says it again, you look and he's looking over the edge of the roof, the lip of the roof, and down over. He's like beside his legs. Like he must just be like laying on his side oddly and is looking in at you three. A penny, please.
Is this like a kid or is this an adult?
It's an adult. He looks kind of, from what you can see in the bottoms of his pants, he looks like he's wearing rags. Arya is like rolling her eyes.
My hands are immediately on my pockets. I'm not giving anyone any of my money. My money.
Don't penny. Mm-mm. Nope. Sorry. Thank you for playing. Need to save it.
Yeah, I've sort of been over by one of the tapestries, whispering to this this bird skull that I've been talking to for a moment, just sort of looking, glancing at, and then when that happens, I'm like, oh, hang on a sec, and I put it down, I put it back in my pocket, and I just sort of look. I'm like, oh yeah, clear off. This one's taken.
I offer a service in exchange for a penny. You can have.
What sort of service are you talking about here?
A promise. A penny for a promise. It's really a great deal. The exchange rate for promises and pennies, I mean, truly. I mean, you're talking 3 to 5 pennies at least, depending on the market, right? Cheap. A penny only. A promise for you.
Most people tend to break promises, especially if they are that cheap. You do get what you pay for.
You get exactly what you pay for here. A promise.
I don't like lean toward my companions. I don't know if I trust any promises from someone who offers them for a penny. My promises are worth at least 5 pennies.
Yeah, I
Here's
mean, you
the
go,
question.
they're
No, go
starting
ahead.
real soft if they want to shake us down. I mean, yeah, that's.
But the question is, what promise? Do we get to pick the promise, or do they get to pick the promise? Because if we pick the promise, it's good. If they get to pick the promise, that's not good at all.
What's the promise?
Everyone gets their own. They're individualized. And they don't come from me. I hear
Are they
them.
a penny each, or is it a penny for everyone's promises? A penny for the group?
A penny each.
You're just, this is getting a little worrisome.
Rain check. I'll come back. We can come back for it, right?
You might. If you can leave. I may still be here.
Oh, is that the promise then? Us getting out of here. And I just sort of look at our hostess, or the person who answered the door anyway, and like, is one working for you? You got some kind of a racket going on here?
No, I swear, please ignore him. His promises, they are odd, vague, useless. I gave him a penny once. He told me my mother would come into good fortune. She died 2 months later. He makes things up. Don't worry about it.
See her every day.
Most days. I tried
Just
kicking him
sort
off,
of-
but he just comes back.
Sort of just glance back from it. Sort of look around. You got a lot of visitors.
Here and there. Used to be more, but well, we've got a few.
You just sort of, and this guy is sort of dangling from like a hole in the roof or something. Is that what you were saying,
He's
or
like sitting on the edge of the porch roof.
the porch roof? Okay,
Yeah.
We're just sort of like, yeah, mate, we got to talk about your business model. There's not enough traffic here for this to be good.
The service that I offer is truly a service that I I believe in. I
How
believe
come
in
you're not?
promises.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you want more customers, right? Why aren't you doing it in the city?
Graph. I think I'm not saying that I trust this person, but I am saying that I do support small businesses. And I'm going to I'm going to pay the person for each of us to have a promise.
For each. Lovely. Each of you roll a d8 for me.
Oh boy.
This is going to be great. You know, when you're rolling dice in Mork Borg, you're really going to have a good time.
Oh yeah. Well, someone's going to.
Ooh.
Sorry, I have to find a D8. I forget what they look like. That's one. Okay.
Mm.
Cool.
I rolled a very low number.
I rolled a 7.
7.
I also rolled a 7.
Ooh.
I rolled a 1.
He does this sort of weird tumble off the top of the roof and lands in front of the porch to look at you, the three of you. And as he comes forward and holds his hand out and takes these 3 pennies, he looks at Torn and he smiles, and then he looks. It's Scargar, right, Jay?
Gargar.
Scargar looks at He looks at Scargar, and then he looks at Torn, back at Torn. Your fate is shared. Rarely does this happen.
Oh, I'm not sure I like that.
We phlegm together, though.
It's true. It is very true.
Yeah, you know, there's things you can do for that.
Yeah.
Adds to my charm.
Charming indeed. The problem is your tears shall water her children. He looks far away for a moment and then blinks and looks at you. Whatever that means. And then he turns to Graf. You said you rolled a 1, right, Jim?
Yes, I rolled a 1. The best possible number.
Of an end.
That sounds promising.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember my password. Oh, that's why. Hi, we're back. We had a little internet burp, but we're good.
Those goblins.
The promises that were handed out, Scargar and let me pull it back. Scargar and Torn both got the same one, and that is your tears will water her children. And Graf got the moment you fall to her charms, you will be the end of your journey and the beginning of an end.
Yeah, that's pretty much always the way of it. He sighs.
Don't fall prey to any charming people.
He takes the coins and he like flicks one up in the air, catches it with his other hand, and does his hand movement, and it's gone. He does the same thing with the other 2, and then bows, and then scurries off to the right of the house. And Arya shakes her head shuts the door, and looks at the three of you. My apologies. You shouldn't have wasted your coin. Promises are useless. They mean nothing. He's not quite all there, and that's okay. I suppose we all have our way. Anyway, hi. Welcome. I welcome you to our humble abode. Not so humble. Maybe sort of humble. I welcome. What brings you in?
I thought there was a party.
Oh, we do have guests further on in the home. If you would like, I can show you the way. Is that
Is
what
it
the
a-
other two of you are here for?
Is it a masquerade party?
We do have balls most every evening. They're quite entertaining.
Hmm.
Is there drinks?
Always drinks. Whatever
Well,
you
then
would like.
yes, I am very excited to know the way.
Most of our guests tend to have a affinity for There Who's Blind. It's a drug, if you're not familiar. I mean, I figure most people of the land are. It offers certain benefits. If you would like to so partake, I can show you the way.
Hmm.
I really shouldn't.
Not yet.
Last time. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I understand.
Why are you two being so down in the dumps? We're here for a party. We
Well, I mean, you know,
enjoy
it's
ourselves.
I mean, the stuff. If it's what I think it is, the stuff she's offering is actually quite good. But you know, you kind of lose your eyesight for a while. It don't go so well.
I mean, I've worked on
Yeah.
it's sort of just already one eye.
Last time
Not
wasn't
really gonna
good.
hurt me that much.
Bad trip.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, you all know you're familiar with it. A lot of people do it, especially more royalty, more nobility. It's a very nobility drug. It you know that it'll give you a boost to your presence, but it will make you a little bit slower. Your agility will go down. So you know
Mhm.
that it also encourages a little bit of violence, a little bit of debauchery, a little bit of, it's sort of it's not unlike like, you get a little bit more courage, I would say, and
Yeah.
tend to want to
So
do
it's
all
Molly.
the lovely things. Yeah, it's Molly, basically.
It's Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she kind of looks at the three of you. Well, if partying is what you're here for, certainly I can take you. There are plenty of little outcroppings where our guests like to have fun.
Hmm.
And she
Scar-
what?
it's Scargar. You're the one who really wanted to party. Why don't
Hmm.
you dictate where we head? The big.
I will. Okay, I'll follow her, and you can follow me back, and okay, yeah. Lead the way. Which way we go?
Sure. She takes you forward. There is you see that there's two doors. There is hold on.
And as we're walking, Skargar kind of turns back and slips Torn. So he's got his hands wrapped because there's sores under them, and he kind of pulls out a penny and puts it in Torn's kind of hand, and then quickly, embarrassed about his sores and wrapped sores hands, he kind of puts them kind of in his pocket a little bit with a big long scimitar and a severed zombie arm that's strapped to the back.
She looks you over and then points to the corner where there's a small door, and she opens it and you see like a coat closet with just random coats sort of hanging. She's like, "Would you, if you would like, you may leave any items you would not want to take with you further into the home. Here, coats or armor or what have you.
Do I have to?
No, certainly not. We wouldn't want you to part with your belongings if you don't want to.
Yeah, Cuddles and I don't. We bring everything with us.
Well, Cuddles?
Cuddle, and he turns over and is like, "Oh, I left Cuddles with a babysitter. Cuddles is my dog. I
Ah,
decided not to bring him tonight because he goes wild at these places."
well, we certainly hope that.
He's literally a party animal.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last time was not a good thing. He's an ankle biter too, so I don't want guests.
He needs to get himself a quieter companion, he does. Yeah.
Cuddles, fierce corgi he is.
True.
Oh,
But-
Corgi. Lovely. She looks at
Mhm.
Graf in the skull. Is your friend a partier too?
Oh, Ulrich is just sort of doesn't do as much partying these days, do you, lad? No. He just likes to watch more than anything else. He's very wise, very
We have-
observant.
We have very many visitors who do love to watch.
Yeah, I've heard that about this place and all.
She sort of like is walking towards this. There's this curtain hanging directly in front of you, and she pulls back the curtain, and inside you can see it's the furniture all inside looks like at one point it was absolutely gorgeous. It's worn and it's got a rip here or there, but it's still beautiful. There are heavy curtains on the windows, or I don't think there are actually any windows in this one. Nope, it's a center room. There's heavy curtains around the walls and sort of this smoke sifting through the air, and you can tell, you've all been around that sort of sticky sweet with a hint of sharpness. It's the Bear Who's Blind. And the smoke is sort of permeating this room, and you get the distinct suspicion that so much of it has been done in this room that the very room itself, if nobody was using in here, would smell like that. But as you look around, you see there's a musician laid out back on a Shea lounge chair, and just he's playing this harp, beautiful gold inlaid harp, and there are gold accents all over this room. And then as you look on the other side, there's a couch. There are two men there together. They're caressing each other, giggling, talking to each other, offering each other the occasional kiss. And then back off in the corner, there's a stand where there's a guitar. It looks very elaborate. And Arya looks around and says, "This is our music room. There are things happening here. There are things happening around the house. I start here, I would say."
We
The,
have free reign of the rest of the house.
Of course, our guests move about as they please. Our Golden Mask Miraculous may be around soon. She's quite busy, you know. But soon, she should be around. If you need anything, the kitchens are just up there, and she points ahead. Dinner is served usually around 7 p.m. The bell will toll. You will know. Drinks, all of that. She points over to a cart in the corner. If alcohol is your choice, it is there.
Yes.
And of course, our friends here. And she points over to the two men on the chair, and they look up at her for a second and look at the three of you and smile largely and point over to the table next to them where there's a bowl there. You can smoke, if you would so wish.
Mm. I'm just going to lean over to Torn and just quietly say, just well, with everything these folks are on, this is going to be like clubbing fish in a barrel.
Arya has already taken off towards the kitchens. She doesn't anticipate y'all following her.
I think Torn does eye like the drug area suspiciously, but sort of after that makes a beeline over toward wherever the drinks are to make themselves a drink.
Skorgar also is going back to the drink. He's first thing drinking food. It's the first thing on his.
Graf is casing the joint. He's basically looking around, seeing what's valuable, trying to keep himself from biting the harp to see if it's real gold, and just basically just sort of looking around to see if there's anything, if anything shiny or valuable has been left lying out anywhere.
So there are quite a few things in this room that could be, little vases, little, gold inlaid things here and there, sort of things. There is the one thing that truly, there's a couple things that are truly kind of stand out. That harp that the musician is playing is one. The other is there's this very elaborate guitar. It's got gold inlaid. The design is very intricate. And it's sitting on a stand over in the corner, as though there was another musician at some point who's going to come play it, or it's somebody's instrument.
So I don't want to make off with the whole thing because that will be noticed, and as folks may have surmised at this point, Graf is not as light-fingered as he used to be. But
it might be the musician who's playing. So the two men seem very involved with themselves, and they have a sort of haze about them. So you can tell they probably have been using the Bear Who's Blind. The musician he smiled at you very warmly when you walked in, but he went back immediately to his harp and is so involved in playing and so taken in with it. He's got that sort of like intensity about him of somebody who is very, very hyper focused on something and probably also high.
Excellent. Good. This is a wonderful environment to operate in. This other instrument that's sort of leaning back in the back somewhere, does it? I am going to look at it and see if there are any pieces of it, like the frets or anything that handles or anything on it that I think that perhaps might evade immediate notice if they went missing and might be perhaps valuable in and of themselves.
Right. Yeah. Let's do a roll right quick. Let's do a presence.
Ah, excellent.
So roll me a d20 and add your presence.
I shall attempt to do so.
Modifier.
Also, by the way, as Graf has been going around and just sort of, he doesn't look like much. He's very shriveled and he's wearing a sort of a cloak and a sort of peasant's tunic and what have you. But he smells great for some reason that people have will only ring because somehow I rolled and with equipment I ended up with perfume. So, okay, that is not absolutely terrible. It's a total of 15.
15. That's actually good. So as you're looking this thing over and you're looking at these frets, and the frets, yes, they're gorgeous. They're inlaid. They've got engraving on them. They look like they're gold. They're very, I'm not sure if that's the best thing to use for a fret, but this is what they did. At least they plated it with gold. And then you're looking at the strings. They look immaculate. Everything about this thing, there's not a fingerprint on it. Like whoever uses it takes a lot of care of it. But as you're kind of looking down these strings, and your eye goes to the hole in the center of the guitar, you see something glimmer inside that hole. You can see that there's something in there. It would take picking it up and picking it up and doing there's something in my guitar. Let me try to get it out, like shake to get it to come out.
Yeah, it'll be one of those things where he doesn't do that at first until he's like absolutely sure that no one seems to be looking at him. And then he'll sort of quietly, like, just kind of sort of pick his moment, just sort of pretend to be just sort of chilling and hanging out, and then he'll quickly turn around and like try
Shake
to
it.
shake it, see if
Yeah.
anything comes out.
You don't have to be smooth in this moment, so I'm not going to make you roll for it because these folks are very much involved in what they're doing. So as you do, you hear this clatter hit this sort of soft carpet below you, and you look down and it's a key. It's an ornate looking key of
Whoa.
gold, but it looks very nice. Even if you don't figure out what it goes to, someone might pay some good money for this. It's got a jewel on the top of it, like it's got like this green jewel on top, maybe an emerald, and it's very ornate, very beautiful key.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Look at that! All right, look at that. That's at least a week's worth of looking at them tapestry. Come on, here. And he'll just sort of quickly scoop it up and grab it. And so,
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. The rest of you, are you wanting to do anything specific to interact with the people in the room or anything like that?
I think so. Torn makes themselves a drink. Is it like good liquor, or is it like the facade of rich people liquor?
It is good liquor. It is
Nice.
legitimately good liquor. You can tell that the decanters and things and the glasses that it's in. There's chips occasionally. One of them looks like it's still got somebody's lipstick on it. So, but the liquor is smooth, good.
Torn's probably drank from worse. So yeah, they immediately they pour like one what they don't care what goblet they grab, so they've just grabbed the nearest glass and they pour it and then like immediately down it and then
Mhm.
like pull the glass away and like so I believe Scargor was also getting a drink, so like they look at Scargor and they're like, this is some top notch high quality stuff here.
It's
And
the
then
good stuff.
very good.
Oh,
And
that's what I heard. That's why I wanted to come to the party, because they said the good stuff is here. And I've had it
picked a good
once.
one.
Hey, that's what I heard. So yeah. What should I have?
I pour myself. So I've downed the one. I pour Scargor a glass and then pour myself
Oh,
another
thank
glass.
you.
And this is I'm gonna slowly sip this one. But and I look around and I'm pretty sure like I since Graf like wasn't being stealthy, I'm like eyeing Graf and I'm just like, Graf's up to something.
Uh-oh. You know, his fortune, no, his promise. We're here, he's there. That's gonna cause problems. Yep, that's gonna cause some problems.
Me and you though, we're connected. We've got this.
Yeah, because we're drinking at the drink bar and he's over there doing his thing.
Exactly.
I will stand in front like always. You all stand behind me. Me and Cuddles will protect you.
So Cuddles isn't here, so you
Oh,
have to
yeah,
account
Cuddles
for
not
that.
here. I keep forgetting Cuddles is always with me. So this is different.
I know this is a very hard, very
It's
hard
not
to get used to.
well, it's not hard. It's just unfamiliar because Cuddles is always here or sleeping but yeah. It's okay because I'll bring Cuddles back. I just needed to test the party first. Make sure it's an okay party. Because remember what happened last time? The last party, he bit everyone and we got thrown out. I don't want this to happen at this party.
This is too high a class.
Yeah,
for
well, he got
fighting.
himself into those mushrooms and stuff that made him go. Yeah, so
And so Torn takes a sip and steps forward and like I not like looking at anyone specific, but it's just like anyone know about are there any anyone with a mask here tonight?
So you said no to no one in particular.
Yeah, just sort of out because you said there was like two people in like the lounge and then the harp player and stuff like that.
Yeah. So nearest to you is the harp player, and as he's playing, he doesn't stop playing, but he looks up at you, and his smile. He's still got that kind smile he sort of gave you when he came in, but then that smile begins to kind of grow. it's a little bit too big. And as he grins, you notice that some of his teeth are kind of knocked out. And then you notice that as he kind of opens his mouth wide, there's no tongue there. And he looks at you and smiles. And as you notice, as you're kind of enraptured at this look that he's giving you with this sort of wide mouthed smile, you notice that this music has stopped. And he's pulling his hands away, and as he's bringing them to his face, you notice his hands are bloody, bleeding actively, like he's been playing this thing for way too long. And he puts this harp he pushes this harp to the side and stands up and looks at you. And then his still bloodied hands, he's still got this smile on his face, looks at you and holds his hands out and starts walking towards you.
I take my drink and like put it up in front of me, like forcing the drink toward him to like keep a distance between the two of us.
He looks as he does this and he's got the smile on his face, he looks confused down at the drink. And pulls his hand back and slaps it out of his way and then starts walking towards you again with his hands out. And he's like, oh, now you notice that his smile has changed. His mouth, it's not that sort of, it's not even really a smile. He's doing the ah thing. He's going ah, like open your mouth. Ah. And he's like, his brow is starting to set and he's got like the corner of his mouth is up and he's coming towards you with his hands ready. Look, he's coming for your throat. He's trying to grab you.
Yeah, I'm immediately like hitting Scargor. Like, I might have offended somebody. I'm not good with party politics like you are. And I'm like trying to duck out of the way from this harp player.
Scargor grabs his hand and just kind of pushes the guy's hand away. No.
He looks at you now and just again,
no.
And like he's reaching for you. Now he's reaching for you, Scargar, and he's trying to grab at you, and he's like trying to get close and like grabbing at your like chest, like trying to get to your neck. And because he's trying to grab your face, he's like reaching with one hand towards your face. Now he's trying, and you notice that he reaches down with his other hand and he's pulled a knife out with his left hand. He's trying to open your mouth and he's trying to get his knife towards your mouth.
I just smack him.
Give me a roll for that.
All right. Strength test, not great, but 13?
Yeah, I think that'll do it. He as you smack him.
No.
You smack him, he kind of falls to the ground and lets out a sort of sad like and gets up to stand up. And the other two men are looking over in your doll's direction, and one of them says, I think he wants your tongue, lad.
No. Yeah, no.
I think my friend has made his position quite clear. No tongues aren't. We're not here to. No.
The guy looks up at you from the floor with his knife still in his hand.
No. Play.
Is you trying to convince him to go back to playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get another roll then. I don't want y'all to roll combat for this because it might turn into that, but I don't think it really will.
No.
So let's go with presence. Give me a presence roll.
Oh my god. Yeah, the worst one of entertainment value here. An 18 on the die for a 15.
-3.
He looks at you and you said go back to playing, and he looks at the knife and puts the knife back in his little holster on his thing, and he goes, play, and he goes and sits down and keeps playing with those bloody fingers you didn't notice when you first walked in the door. And he's still picking, and the harp is bloody, but he's still playing. And then the guy who spoke up laughs. Old chappie gets a little bit excited. He thinks that everyone's tongue should be out just like his. You can't imagine him being happier.
Mm.
I don't know.
Did he remove his own tongue, or was it removed by force by someone else?
I don't rightly know.
Huh.
Mm.
Sometimes people come in here with some strange proclivities. You catch my drift.
It happens. No hard feelings. Thank you. You play beautiful.
The other guy who's sitting with the man, is still kind of like involved in the guy who's talking, who's kind of ignoring what's happening to him with the other guy, and is looking at you, and he looks at, oh, my apologies, so rude of me. Would you like to partake? And he like picks up this bowl, and you can tell like you light it, and then you breathe in the smoke, and then that's how you get the high. And he kind of offers it. The other man looks up and grins bigly. Everything's better on the blind.
I am quite sure you are correct, but as you see, I am already down one. I think it's like Torn's whole idea has changed since since this random person tried to take their tongue. And it's just like, as you can see, I'm a little bit of a disadvantage here. I should probably keep the sight that I do have.
It'll make you see things.
I sort of already do.
More things. Beautiful things. And everything feels like the gods themselves are touching you.
I don't really like being touched, or by gods especially. Yeah, I'm just going to. I don't even like say. I just sort of point toward the door and like do that sort of crab walk itch. I'm just trying to get a little bit farther away.
Thank you. We back later. Bye bye.
And you just get graph.
The one that,
Oh, yeah, no, coming.
the one that's speaking looks at Skargor and's like, you come back. And when you do, we get a seat warmed for you. And he like rubs the seat next to him. And his companion.
Thank
like,
you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
You moving in, so there's options for which direction you can go. There is a hallway to the left, there's a hallway to the right, and then directly ahead is let me make sure I am saying the right thing here. Is a double doors sort of room.
Can I go? Are the double doors, are they closed?
Mhm.
Can I go try to listen through them? Just
Yeah.
put my little ear against the door.
Yeah, you push your ear to it, you don't hear anything coming from that side of the room, or from the room. On the other side.
Yeah, I pointed out to my friends, and I'm just like, this one sounds quiet. We might be able to go in there, get a feel of what's going on. You picked a really interesting party.
Well, that's just first room. We got more rooms to check out, and there might be some more fun in all those other rooms because and we get separate now. Oh, I think important safe words, and if we split up, we come back together so we don't get lost. I think that is the important thing to be able to say, right?
Very good. Very good.
So do we have watch or time? So when bell rings, we always meet before dinner, or when bell rings, we meet. Make sure we're all alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Or every 3 hours? I don't know.
I don't know if this place is meant to tell us the time. I think it's.
I know
we're
it's
supposed
difficult.
to get
Yeah.
sort of lost in
It's
here.
kind of where
That's-
you go to forget what time it is. But I mean, you
Yeah.
just look up through holes in the roof and you can kind of see what time of day it is, I guess.
Well, that's true. When it's dark outside, because is it in the afternoon, Jim? What time of day is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
afternoon. It's like early afternoon, sort of. You got maybe 3 or so hours before dinner time.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when dark and bell rings, we meet to make sure we are live because you could get lost in here.
Yeah, sure. You want to meet back in like the main hall or something?
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, it'd be good. No one's around. I might be able to snag one of them tapestries before we get out. You know, you have to pay 3 silver a day to go to see things like that back in town. I tell you.
I know. That's what I mean. No, I don't know that way. No, yeah, really,
Yeah.
That's really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you
okay.
should see it. It's great. I know you've never seen it before, but you should really think about going and seeing it.
Okay, I will make a point next time.
Yeah.
Skargar's going like, His brothel memory is coming back to him in his character creation.
So
Ignore all of this conversation. And I do, unless you have something to do, Marlo, I want to like peek through. I want to just open the door a little bit and just do a little peek see.
yeah, so you can look in, and this looks like a bedroom sort of setup. There are these sort of hammocks, but they're not like a typical hammock. It looks like someone has taken like curtains and hung them from the ceiling so that they could sleep in them. That smell of roses is still sort of here. There's mattresses scattered along the floor, and they look dingy and dirty. They're not quite like Fallout levels of dirty mattress, but they're not great. And then you can see like clothes scattered. There's you see like jewelry, people's jewelry that they've kind of like left around, things. I mean, you can see glittering things everywhere. I mean, it's not there. Nobody's hiding anything here. They don't need to. They're all rich. Nobody cares. Or if they're not rich, they're pretending to be, right? But yeah, you look in, and then there's you see someone sleeping over in the far corner. Or they're laying down over there, and yeah, there's some flowers. It's pretty nice.
As I'm looking through and like my eyes land on the sparkly things, they don't really interest Warren, but I do like wait, grab. I think you might want to go in here. And I sort of like lean over so Graf and like I'm like sort of Scooby Dooing it, you know, like so leaning down so Graf can look and like especially pointing at the shinies.
I shall gravitate toward the shinies.
And if Graf goes in, I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah. When you enter the room, are you coming as well, Skargor?
No, Skargar looks at him going, oh, he's like Graft is on his own. He's refilling his mug and he's looking for some other entertainment. So
so are you do you want to head one of the other directions then?
yeah, Skargar will head towards one of the other directions. So
remember our safe word. You didn't say it, but just remember it.
Safe word. That's the safe word, right?
Sounds good to me. And then I'll further go into the room with Graf.
So you walk into this room. That guy still doesn't move, even though the floorboards creak a bit and move around. He's still not. He must be really high. I mean that's got to be it, right? But yeah, there's like as you look around, let me look at this. Yeah, there's things just kind of thrown everywhere. Nobody's really caring about any of this, but if you want to give me a roll to kind of see, like, give me a presence roll to kind of see, like, what do you see? Is there anything kind of hidden below the surface here?
Yes.
I'm not rolling hot today. That's a 5. So I rolled a 2.
Wow.
That one eye really it's all fucked up today.
I'm using up all of my good rolls on the on the initial thievery, which I think I'm perfectly fine with. I got a 19 on the die, so I have a 21.
Yeah. So you notice quite a few things. So first of all, you see thrown over a chest of drawers, sort of not armoire, but a chest of drawers. Armoire is too tall. You look at chest of drawers. There's a very nice fur coat here, and as you look at it, this is where this sort of like you can see there's stuff in the pockets when you see it, and when you walk over, you can tell it's just stuffed with gemstones, and there's a scroll in there. You're getting very excited.
Yes.
But also as you're walking that direction and you kind of see the scroll hanging out, and you can kind of see as the pockets are kind of bulging with these gems, the corner of your eye in the other direction of the room, you notice something kind of red around that dude. And you realize that maybe that's blood.
Oh, the guy's sort of lying there.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, is Torn still like right behind me, or have I just wandered off into my own world for a moment? Is Torn still next to me, or is Torn elsewhere?
Sorry, I thought that was for Marlo. Yeah, I think that Torn is like Torn is definitely like failing, obviously, to find other things. But is like not letting you get too far, like probably within like a couple of like big steps of a distance. Not that far though.
So I'm just gonna.
I don't think Torn's looking at you. They're not like paying exact attention to you, but they're close.
Okay, so just basically after I just sort of looking at the coat up and down, and I look over, and it's like I took a step toward the coat, and then I looked and I saw the other thing, the person who was lying down, right? That we saw. That was okay. And I just sort of stopped for a second, just sort of looking in that direction. I glanced back at the other people, just sort of in their own world, hopefully, and I just sort of lean back, sort of smile on my face, trying not to reveal too much, and I will just sort of lean back over to Torn. And I will say, we don't want to spend too much time in this room. We got a little time maybe before they're gonna notice, but we want to case this one pretty fast because someone's had a bit of an accident. So we need to just see what they got on him and probably get out in just a sec, okay?
What do you mean an accident? What?
You see the gent who's is it I don't know. See the person what's lying down over there? Yeah. They're going to be lying there for quite a while, if you take my meaning.
Are they very sleepy?
I think this goes rather beyond sleep.
Like a coma?
Yeah, we'll call it.
Oh no, they're dead. They're dead. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's
Can I tell how they were? Can I tell how they're dead?
Yeah, go over there and take a look.
Yeah, just gonna. I'm not gonna get that
Just
close.
be
Just like
careful.
enough, so I can like sort of lean over, get a little vantage point.
So let me look at the rolls. See if there's something that would be better than just a regular presence, but I don't necessarily think that's true. I've got too many things open.
Don't worry, I'll probably roll another 2, Marlo.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll find something, I'm sure. Where is my... Yes, hello. Here we go. Hi. Yeah, no, I think, presence is going to be...
I'm going to change the dice.
Option. Change your dice.
I literally rolled a 2 again.
Are you kidding?
No, it's a 5.
He did. That's all. He did. He did.
I probably still think there's a chance he is still breathing, too, honestly.
I'm not quite sure. I think he did.
Yeah, I just nod thoughtfully, like agreeing with Graf, like, okay, let's did you do anything in particular you want?
Yeah. I'm just gonna need a minute. You wanna?
And I have this like empty sack on my belt, and I sort of like pull it off, and I do have a sack that can hold 10 items.
What? Oh, this is great because if we fill up with and something probably that folks that they well no we'll get into it. And if we fill up with too much, I've got a card outside that we can also use. So, as it turns out, that's another item I rolled. I have a small cart. I didn't bring it in with me. It's right outside. So
good. That would have been hard to get to the door.
Yeah, that would have been very difficult to get up the stairs.
So you find a bunch of gemstones, and you find the scroll. It's as you open it up and kind of look at it, it's a scroll of bestial speech.
Alright.
I have to look up what all of that does, but yeah, that's what's in there. Um,
Oh, hey, look at that. I could have talked to you proper back when you was alive. Oh, well.
and then on the body itself. So were you saying you were looking through the body as well, Jim, or is that just the
I
throat?
do want to, if it's possible, to do it without drawing too much attention.
To look at the body.
Yeah.
There's no one else in here, right?
There's no one else in here. Yeah.
Oh, there's no one. I thought there were people
That
for
was
some
the
reason.
only. Yeah, this room was completely empty.
Okay.
It was just the body.
Okay. Anyway, cloakroom. Okay. Yeah. No. Awesome. Yeah. No. We'll. Yeah.
Give me another
Definitely.
quick search because there's some things here that you might.
Okie doke. I'm gonna roll this same die 3 times in a row. We don't know what's going to happen. Probably not going to go terribly well. Yeah, that went not much better. That's a 6.
Oh, okay. Well, so you don't
We don't
really
know what's
you
going to
notice
happen.
that he's got
Probably not going to go terribly well.
you can tell that it looks like somebody's like drained him, maybe of his blood. Maybe they spilled a little bit. That's the red that you saw, but he's bloodless.
Oh.
And you can see there's a couple of empty bowls that were obviously used to repair his blind. Like he was high. Someone cut him open and drained him.
Right. I actually take one of the empty bowls just to because I mean if I suppose I didn't I assume I didn't notice any of the drug itself around here, so but I'll take the bowl and just keep it with me so that I can make use of it for someone if I need to. If I need to offer it to someone as something.
Yeah.
And just kind of like look at him and just sort of look back. I'm just like, oh, huh. Well, and I assume I don't see any obvious wounds that would have that are on him, as far as I can tell. Right?
No, I mean you can tell that like somebody has they slit his throat to drain the blood. They didn't do it like with like fancy like
oh, okay. Yeah.
Like IVs or anything like that. They just literally cut his it looks like they might have cut his neck, shoved a bucket underneath him, and once it was full, then they put him back down. So there's like the residual blood that they didn't quite get is still there.
Well,
maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. And I just sort of look and I just sort of glance back at Torn. I'm like, oh yeah, well, either this fella fell victim to someone trying to do a ritual of some kind, or there's going to be some very, very disturbing party favors later that they're using him for. I don't know. Rich people could be either one.
Torn gets closer and isn't like inspecting the body. Like that's past. Torn doesn't care. But looks at Graf and says, I know that I don't really agree with the gods and such, but I do have respect for the dead. We should honor those who have passed. And I think Torn will just sort of make a motion to close the person's eyes, and if there's a rag around, clean up just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more presentable. But that's all that Torn will do.
Yeah. As you're kind of moving things around and you're kind of making the body a little bit presentable, you feel something as you're kind of adjusting, because you gotta kind of flip him over. Rigor mortis hasn't quite set in yet. The blood is dry, starting to dry. Or it's not totally dry yet.
Yeah. So this is relatively recent.
As you flip him over and you're trying to readjust his hips, because he's the way he kind of, the first top half kind of did the flop over, but the bottom half is still kind of half-ass turned. So you flip it, and as you grab, you feel in his pocket something sort of it's hard, something hard in his pocket. Okay, I told you rigor mortis hadn't set in it. In his pocket. Do you pull that out?
I wasn't even thinking about that, and you went there.
I always go there. It's a problem I have. Truly.
Torn's eyes go wide. It's we sure this? I'm pretty sure this man is dead, and I'm going to stick my hand in the pocket.
Yeah. It's you pull out a small box. It's a small wooden box, and it's got a keyhole on it. But it is locked.
I immediately shove it toward Graf, my little thieving friend. I just assume. I was like, "Can you open this?"
Oh, I mean, lost my primary tool, but we can see. And I just I'll take a look at it. How big is the keyhole?
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, it's an average sort of keyhole. I mean, look, maybe the key that you found would open it.
Yeah, that was my thought. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just I kind of look at it as I'm holding the box and I'm just looking at it like, oh, no way. Hang on. And and he will, he'll hand the box back to, towards it. Hey, hold this for me, will you? For just a moment, hold it like that. And I take the key out of my pocket and just look at it. And I say, found this earlier. I think we found our other musician. I say, just just gesturing with my head back toward the guy.
Oh.
And
Find this in the
maybe.
guitar. Torr's not expecting an answer. He's
Yeah.
just like, they're just talking.
Yeah. And heavens help me, I'm going to try to put the key in.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah. Always open the box. It's perfectly safe.
How big is? I guess it's big enough to fit in a pocket, but is it like a good hefty size, Marla?
Yeah, it's maybe like yay
Cool.
big.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I will look at the box as I'm preparing to do this because I am expecting that I have probably jumped in foolishly before. I'm guessing for things like this. So I am I'm not going to just immediately. I'm just going to look at it and then if it looks like it'll be okay to put the key in, then I'll put the key in and turn it.
Okay.
While Torn is holding the box.
Yeah, you put it in and you hear the little kind of tumblers move as you kind of slide it in, and then it turns easily and opens. And inside, it's velvet lined on the inside, and inside is just a scrap of paper. And the paper is positioned such that you can read it as soon as you open the sucker, and it says, "The song is the key to it all."
Torr's like looking over the box.
It's a riddle. It's another riddle.
Did you recognize the song the harp player was playing?
The song is the key to it all. I wasn't paying attention.
That's fair.
But still, I mean, the box is pretty nice. You could probably get a few bob for that. Yeah. But,
yeah, I'll put the box in my little sack, but I'll take the piece of paper and fold it up and stick it in my inner pocket. I don't fucking know what I'm wearing. I don't care. But just keep it closer. I won't dig through the sack for the piece of paper. Because next time I see Skargar, I'm gonna show it to him. But.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, if you've gotten the scroll and the gems, this room is that's kind of it. There's just a guy dead in there. Whatever. He is smiling though, so at least he wasn't in a lot of pain.
Hey, I'd like to check and see if he has a tongue before we leave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Okay.
He
good.
does.
Okay. Yeah. So
Can we quickly let's match the wound to see if it matches the blade of the harpist, and as we perform our crime scene investigation.
The Who
No,
plays in the
we're
background.
not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Torn will go toward the well, give Graf time to grab any lingering things that he wants, but then he'll go and peek out the door again, make sure there's no one in the hallway before they go.
Yeah. Again, not going to take the code. I don't think because we're still spending time here. I'm not going to grab the code itself because again, that would be too obvious. But I will note that it is here if we have time on our way out.
Yeah. Cool. So you now we're gonna move on to Skargor. So Skargor, which direction do you want to head? So they went directly to the front. These two double doors. You can go either left or right. And the hallway
Always go left. Yeah, always go left.
Okay.
Always go left.
Good. That's where I wanted you to go.
Because right is not necessarily right. Left, got to go opposite.
Okay. So as you walk down the hallway, you see like, that's beautiful. It's decorated very nicely. The it would be really great if there wasn't like peeling, like bubbling wallpaper in some spots, and that maybe
Hmm.
the rug wasn't so well worn. But it's trying to be nice. It's almost there.
Hmm. And just kind of looking around to see if there's any noise of people talking or drinking.
Yeah. So down at there's a you get through this hallway, you get into this hallway and you can see that there's an opening to the other side. And
Hmm.
it's a very nice looking room from what you can see. And there are people milling about, talking, chattering. They all look very upper class, very upper crust sort of folks. And they're talking. Some of them are, sitting on a couch. Some people are sitting on a couch, but there's a big table in the middle of the room. Big, long table
Hmm.
with all sorts of types of meat sitting around, seared up. They smell great. Um, Goblets of wine, they're goblets and alcohol. Everyone's got a cup. And then the table is gilded and just inlaid with this gold. It's carried throughout the whole thing, this whole house. And the guests are chattering and talking. Some of them are sitting over to the side. Some of them are laughing, and some of them are picking at meat. And some people are sitting at the
Okay.
table. It looks pretty average. I mean, honestly.
So Skolgar would be making sure that the people are indulging in the food and the drink, and making he's kind of walks in and just observing to make sure that if people are doing it, like eating from the particular table and drinking, then he's gonna go and just start shuffling and just eating. He didn't want to make sure that he didn't like overstep because he's like I said, watching it first and kind of watching at people, and then going up and grabbing some meat and grabbing a goblet, and turns to the next person and goes, hi. Good, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's this very like skinny waif of a woman. She looks at you. It's always wonderful. Here at the manor, the golden masked miraculous always takes care of us.
Hmm. That's good. The
Yes.
Skolgar. I'm Skolgar.
Oh, Skulgor. I'm I don't know, insert random nobility name. She's useless. She doesn't
Oh, nice to meet you. Insert random nobility name.
Let's go with
As I put the GM on.
let me get up a name generator right quick. I'm bad at generating names.
Um,
But as you are talking to her, fantasy nobility. As you're talking to her, other people are sort of moving around. Her husband on her other side kind of leans over and smiles broadly at you. Oh, hi there, good chap. We hope you're enjoying yourself. They take good care of us here. They truly do. Watch out for that chef, though. He has got quite an attitude, I do say. The Mass Miraculous should really do something about it. Truly, these commoners, they get in their heads that they can speak to us in any way that they want, and they should be punished accordingly. Lady, oh yes, we used to hang them up by their toenails. It was quite a sight. Eventually, all the toenails would fall off and they'd fall to the ground. Quite funny if they didn't break their necks, and even funnier if they did. Ha ha
ha ha ha. Yeah. Yeah. Cook got it. Good food. How long you've been here?
Oh, lose track of time. I think maybe a week or 2 or 3. She looks at her husband confused, and he looks confused. My dog is barking. I apologize. I don't know why she's doing that.
Cuddles? In the background. Okay. Well, enjoy. And he just kind of cowardly scampers off to the next.
I don't know what he's saying. My partner just woke up he's on nights right now, so he just woke up confused. He's like, is anybody here? No, only ghosts.
So yeah, he just kind of moves over to a small section in the room and just kind of just drinking and eating some food, just observing the room.
Yeah. And that in that sort of corner, you notice that there's a it looks like an elevator, um, but it's not. It there's a sign on it that says out of service. Um, and as you're standing there, kind of looking around the room, and you look down. There's a pretty attractive younger woman like who walks over and is like, "Hi, how are you? Yes, I hope you're enjoying yourself. The Mass Miraculous should be around any time. She wanders about, and sometimes she's here, and sometimes she's there. We make our own fun while she's away, though."
That's what I
Uh,
came for. Fun and party. That's what I heard.
well then you're in the right place, I do say. Do you
Hmm.
partake? And she points over to someone who's got a bowl of the Var's blood, blind, over there.
I'm cutting back right now. I had too much last time, so I'm cutting back just a little bit. But
Been there. Yeah, bad trip. It happens.
Mhm.
And as she's talking, she's kind of distracted you a little bit, but as you hear this door slam open,
Hmm.
and out comes this very irritated looking chef. He's got a knife in his hand, and he's got a big platter of meat in his other hand, and he throws it down on the table and he starts cutting it up angrily. And the guy down the table is like, "I say there, chap, what's got your bloomers in a rustle here, huh?" And the chef looks up at him and stabs him. And the guy falls to the ground, and he looks up around the rest of the room, and everyone goes, "Oh!" And the guy's over there, "Ugh!
That must have hurt.
Ah!" "I don't wear bloomers. I don't take too kindly to that." And he looks up at you. "You're new."
Yep.
"One more person's mouth to feed. Great. Just what we needed." And he turns and walks off, presumably to the kitchen.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Skargar's contemplating that. Looks over. Is the guy dead or is he just wounded?
He's grabbing. He doesn't look dead. He's just
Hmm.
wounded. It's not even.
Okay.
It's a flesh wound. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Does this party happen? Does the chef get angry a lot?
He's just not a very nice guy. I don't know. I ignore him. I don't speak to him.
Most people don't. That's interesting. Well, it was nice talking to you. Maybe party later.
Certainly. She has this big smile and sort of like waltzes off to another direction to talk to someone else. I think we're gonna go ahead and go on a break right quick. I don't really have a good cliffhanger moment for it, but I think that's a good point to kind of stop. Yeah. So we'll be back in what, 5-10 minutes? 10 minutes. We're gonna take a quick bio, do our thing. We'll be back, and stick around. We prefer swallow, just so you know. Hey, how's it going? Hi, welcome back. How's it going? How's it hanging? We have annihilated some snacks. We were all snacking. And we have been what's gonna happen? There's a crazy chef. There's dead people. There's a guy without a tongue. What's gonna happen? I don't know, but we're in the back half, so we're gonna turn it up a notch. Once again, remember we are here doing a charity stream to benefit Extra Life and BC Children's Hospital via Extra Life. And we are still at 860. And it's over halfway towards our goal to 1500. So hopefully we can get there. And we're halfway through the first stream of the day, so that's pretty good. Also, Val wanted me to let you know that they are matching their sub points for the month. So if you $1 donation for every sub point you use, I believe that's right. Yes, and if you have those hanging around, it's not a bad way to use them, right? Might as well. So hey, hi, how's it going? My cast has been lovely. We're about to get started back up on this, and just keep it rolling. So, back in the dining room, everyone's hanging out. Everyone's sort of just talking around. There's a fireplace roaring in the corner. It's warm. It's welcoming. It's inviting. It's the nicest place you've seen so far. There's cutlery. There's, as Graf said earlier, I mean, actual like metal cutlery here, not wooden. Fancy. And if you go, there's the door. Let me pull up the map again. There's a door into the kitchen from here, and again that there's another door that looks like it heads back up towards another room that you've not experienced yet, but maybe your companions have experienced it. So yeah, what are you thinking? What's the next step here?
So depending on how long, I mean, Skullguard's definitely going to be just observing everyone for a long period of time. And depending on what the other group is, if they're coming this way or going a different way, after 20, 30 minutes, he's eventually going to make his way into the kitchen because he's interested to see what's on the dinner. What meat's coming out? What is the cook so angry about?
Yeah. Cool. So before we do that, let's see what our other crew's up to. So y'all just found a wooden box. The music's the key. That's what that little letter said. From here, you can go over. There's another door. There's two more doors. There's one that heads directly back from the way you came, and then there's one to the left.
Before we leave, I think that Shorn does a little peek-see again out the door. Is the hallway clear?
So the door that there's two. So the door that you came from, those folks are still out there. The one, okay. If you're looking to the one to the left, is that the one
we haven't been to?
Yeah, so you go to the left, you open it, and you see that this room also connects to the dining room. Initially, this probably shouldn't have been a bedroom, but since the upper floors have been kind of wrecked, it is now. So you see the dining room, and if you look through there, you see Skargor in there with everybody. You can hear the bustling and moving of clattering of silverware on plates and things like that.
Horn looks at Graf and just like, do we want to join our friend? I've already forgot the voice I was using. I am so sorry. This is just gonna come and go.
Yeah.
To join our friend or go elsewhere? What's the plan? Do we have a plan? I feel like we usually don't have plans. We just
I don't think
the
we
seat of our
plan.
pants.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about just making a quick detour to grab one or two things and then go join him if that's all right.
All right. Just clap Graf on the back. I got your back.
yeah, and he will. All Graf wants to do is to briefly go back through where the where the harpist was, that room, to pick up a couple of, are they spheres or packets or whatever of the drug, to kind of indicate. No, I got me, because he now has a pipe. So to be like, just he'll have he's not going to do the drug there. He's going to pick up some if they let him.
So there, that couple that was on the couch, there's a bowl there, and then there's a few little packets. They they look like they're wrapped in some sort of paper, and sealed with some sort of, I mean, there's not like a wax seal. I mean, it's a wax seal, but there's no like stamp on it or anything like that. They're just little tiny mini envelopes made out of like cardstock or something to that effect, that are, or whatever kind of paper.
Are there like a bunch of them, or is it just
there's a few by that bowl?
So I'm only going to grab like 2 or 3 of them, and just sort of put in my pocket it. While I'm doing that, I'm going to try to see if I can identify if the harpist is playing right now. I'm not going to address the harpist, but if the harpist is playing right now, I'm going to try to sort of keep an ear out and see if I can figure out what the song is, or what it's supposed to be, at least. And
it sounds familiar, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like in the back of your head, kind of.
Yeah.
I know this, but I can't place it, sort of vibe.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep cogitating on that in the back, just sort of while I'm sort of grabbing these thing. And then sort of as I'm stepping away, do you recognize that melody at all, Ulrich? Something about it. Maybe we'll figure it out. And then proceed into the dining room, basically, was my plan. If Torn's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah. So you both head into this dining room, and you see Scargor over there. You see people milling about. You see there's seared meat on the table. Smells pretty good.
You see the very recent dead body on the ground.
Someone has come. Some servant has come and removed him from the situation.
Cool.
And taken him elsewhere.
I have a very important question.
You can see blood on the ground. What?
I have a very important question now.
Mm-hmm.
Are there spoons?
Yes, there are spoons.
Are they silver?
There's no soup, but there are spoons.
Excellent. Some of those spoons are about to disappear. As if by magic.
I make my way over to. Are you sitting at the table, Scargor, or have you stood up?
No, he's up. He's in the back, kind of against one of the walls type area,
Cool.
filling up his drink and kind of just milling, smiling at people. He kind of sees you and did the initial wave and then just goes, "Oh, yes. Dignified."
Yeah, Torn will so as Torn heads over to Scargor, I'll take a little glance at the table, and I'll lean over very delicately between 2 people and grab a sliver of meat. This is probably a bad idea. I don't know. Katie can only assume what this meat is. But Torn will just take a big chomp of it as they walk over to Scargor and is like, "How have things been going? You got it under control?"
It's been interesting. The chef is angry. He stabbed someone for asking a question about the meat. The chef is angry because there's lots more mouths to feed. So I'm going to go ask him later, but I've been watching a lot of this stuff and there's been a lot of friendly people, but I have I suspect that there's, it's going to be,
If there's just, I'm not against you being the personable person that you are. But don't you think that if the chef stabbed someone for asking a question, that you should not ask that person who stabbed someone a question?
But see, if I ask the right question, he won't stab me.
Well, what if it's the wrong question, Scargor?
Oh, I make sure it's the right question. I always ask right questions. No, wait a minute. I ask left questions because I go left. Anyways.
right. You know what? I trust you. You've got this under control. You are a
Yeah,
much better people person than I am. But
I
maybe, you know
am.
what? But I will, if it's all right with you, I would like to like just be there with you just to make sure everything goes smoothly. You know, if for some reason the chef does just decide to stab anyway, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm there to help.
Okay, that's fine. Now the thing to remember is now you know me, I'm shy when it comes to certain things. Um but I've been growing out of my shell as you and several other people have shared with me that I need to, you know, expand. So I talked to a few people, so I feel confident that it's good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, um, but I'm ready now. Are you? As he grabs
Uh,
another piece of chunks of meat.
I look over at Graph. What's Graph doing? Are you still being spoon sneaky?
Yeah, basically just sort of looking for openings where people are probably not going to be looking, just seeing if there is any unwatched silverware, and just kind of casually will see if what he can make off with. Uh, if possible, as he's staying in earshot though, if you need him.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I make like a little whistle sound to get your attention, and I sort of nod toward like where the opening to the kitchen is. We're gonna go. Scargor just has wants to meet the chef.
The other reason, the chef will have good stuff for Cuddles because he's got the good bones and the meat that I want to get doggy bag for Cuddles.
So don't
Oh
get in
yeah,
any
yeah.
trouble. But we'll be really close.
Got it. I will. Yes, yes, got it. Yes.
I'll
Scargor will
Yep,
go towards the kitchen.
I'll follow Scargor.
Okay. I'll try to stay close. Actually, if it I don't know what's going on, but since Torn made it seem like this is important, I'm gonna go ahead and just pocket whatever item of silverware I happen to be holding, and then and then follow.
Yeah, so y'all are heading into the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside as you come in, there is just meat just piled on countertops and spots where you can tell he's just cut meat, so there's a bunch of blood. And he's got his knife, he's got a bone knife. Now that you're a little bit closer to him, you can see he's got a bone knife and he's sawing it. And he looks up.
I'm sorry to disturb you. I know me. You are doing great job. But I know you are very busy, but I have small request that if I may ask, please.
Okay.
I have very cute dog named Cuddles. And I understand the chef of extraordinary ability as yourself sometimes have scraps and bones that are good for doggy bags. I was wondering if I could ask to help and maybe get a little doggy bag for him.
Excellent chef, you say.
That's what I'm told. Chefs are always good. You never piss off staff or chefs because they make your food and they deliver it, and you make very good with them.
I like you. I got you.
Thank you.
You want bones?
Bone. See, I have my dog Cuddles. He's not with me today because he got in trouble last time, so I not bring him today. But he's fierce battle dog. But he
All right.
deserves good stuff.
Bones, you got it. And he
Thank
goes
you, sir.
over. He walks back to this like bin in the corner and starts like digging through. And you notice the guy's pretty clean. I mean, he does have like he has a little bit on his he's got a apron on that's got a little bit of blood here and there. And he's digging through, and you notice he's digging through this thing, and it's just like now suddenly he's been digging through this thing. You see like the blood from him digging through is like going up his arms. He doesn't seem to care. He doesn't have any gloves on or anything. He's just like now just skin, just blood right on his skin. And he starts kind of ripping through this thing, and he grabs this old potato sack beside him and just starts throwing bones inside of it, and like kind of ties it up at the top, blood all over where he tied it, and then hands it to you.
Oh, can I take some meat too because he likes meat? Is that okay?
Don't tell the masked miraculous. And he undoes
Okay.
it again and throws a couple like a chunk big like.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's plenty. I know you have to serve. How many people are come that stay for dinner?
You know, I don't know. I'm always cooking. I feel like we have official dinner coming, like where, but they always want food out all the time. So like
Mm.
I'm working all of the time. And
You
these
work hard.
locals out
Mhm.
here, they don't appreciate me.
No, they don't.
No.
I appreciate you.
Yes.
Can I
See?
ask? And I'm like
No.
still like chewing on this piece of meat. Where do you source your meat from? It's really good.
Only the best.
Yeah, I get it. I just I'm just wondering if there was like a certain farm nearby that you bought your meat from. I would like to also patronize them.
We raise some pigs here. Some of the meats come from different areas.
Just not liking any of this that I'm hearing.
Sometimes the keeping up with the demand is a little difficult, even for someone with money, like the mass miraculous, of course. But we make do.
Yeah, it's slowing. The chewing is slowing down.
It's good though, right? Sees you chewing. It's good though, right?
It's very well seasoned.
Seasoned
Cooked
well.
perfectly.
What can I have one last question, if I may bother you one more time? So the head person of greatness, miraculous. What can you tell me about her? How'd you gain favor with her?
The golden mass miraculous is something else.
Hmm.
Gaining favor with her. This party, it's a non-stop party.
Hmm.
Hence why I'm overworked and a little bit irritated. But the best way to get in good with the mass miraculous, truly, dance with him.
Oh, I'm not a good dancer, but I could. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and your knowledge of sharing. You make excellent food, and we appreciate everything. And if there's anything, is there something I can do to help you?
No. No, I don't think so.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much. And he kind of walks out.
Torn's just left alone and then just looks at the door and then looks at the chef. Bye. And it just turns and follows. Yeah, I'm gonna follow after Scargor.
Just sort of nod from where I've been leaning in the doorway and just and just sort of as they come back out. I heard the bit about the pigs. I think I know what's going to happen to that fellow we found.
Never.
I think Torn still has like a little bit of sliver of meat in his hand, or in their hand, and they've also made this connection, and they look at Grab and they go, yeah, I mean, well, he's not whatnot, and it just finishes the meat.
Why are you so suspicious about the meat? It tastes good. Scargor has no clue.
Tastes like good pig, right? Tastes like good pork, right?
Yeah, good. It's good meat. Yeah. Chef does an excellent job. Mm-hmm.
Good pig, long.
It might be.
Real long pig.
Yeah.
Well, and you know that like meat is not in abundance. Like the world is dire. Things suck outside of. What the nobility does. Like meat is not something that you get very often. So anytime you would see meat, you'd be like, you know what, protein. Like this is good. I don't get this very often, but it is a little sus as far as like the amount.
Yeah.
Cool. So he as you all are sort of heading out, he kind of points down like the opposite direction from which that you went. He's like, "Oh, by the way, the Golden Mask Miraculous, if you'd like to meet her, usually in the ballroom."
And
I think Scargor wants to have a dance.
but I need courage.
You
So he
don't?
looks for the large bowl of red, or in the dining room where the one lady said to point with the blood. What was it called again?
Vera's blind. Yeah.
Vera blind. Yes, Vera's
Yeah.
blind. Goes over to the Vera's blind bowl and kind of looks at it for about a good minute, building up the courage to partake.
Yeah, there is a there's someone there's like a little like seated area where there's a couple chairs in the corner of the dining room. You went you went back into the dining room to do this.
Yeah, I went back into the dining room.
There's a little table between them where there is a bowl that's already loaded and ready.
He looks at it. We'll take one and go. I think I'm going to go dance. I'm going to go to the B room.
So as you take it, so you like light it, and as you sort of inhale these fumes, things start to kind of shift around you.
I would like to say I am staying very close to Scargor, seeing him do this. Because this is not good, but I love it.
The room sort of starts, it's not like it melting a bit, but it's like your vision, it's like the mixture between like a sort of melt of the walls and a shift. Like you suddenly get focused, your eyes finally focus when they had been so unfocused, and you had no realization that they were unfocused until they focused. And as you look, you see the same dining room, but there's flies everywhere. And that long gilded table is there, but it's got quite a bit of blood. And the blood that was spilled by that noble that was stabbed earlier, it's right in this room. There's hunks of meat, seared poorly, all over the place. And in the center of the table, an open human rib cage sits. And that couple that you were talking to earlier at the table, she's reaching out and pulling some meat from between those ribs and putting it on her plate and eating happily.
Oh.
Out comes the chef, again with another tray of meats. Some of it cooked, some of it not. One of them might be a raw liver. And he's covered in blood. It's all over him. He wipes his hand across his face, across his forehead, and leaves a long streak as he sets the tray down and walks back out. The fireplace that was going is now snuffed out. It's cold. Rather than the warmth that had felt before in this room, it feels barren. Except for these horrors around you. And the people around you, at first they looked like great nobility. The dresses are stained and torn. The robes, covered in dirt, dragged through mud and maybe even blood.
Oh. And Scargor is just like, oh.
And as you're sort of scanning, one more thing you do see is that elevator. It looks like a wheelchair elevator. The sign that says out of service is gone, and the sort of pull apart gates that would normally be shut are wide open. You can tell it's broken because there's a cord hanging with nothing attached to it. And it leads down into a gaping hole.
Tor. Tor.
Yes, yes, I'm right here. I'm right here. I've not gone anywhere.
I think I did something.
Well, you did just take a very potent drug.
Yeah, I see things. I see things now.
That does tend to be a side effect of said potent drug.
Yeah, we might be in danger. Hopefully, we're
You
not
didn't
on the
put that.
meal.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna go to the ballroom to see if I can do something.
Wait,
But
before
just
we go, what do you see? Is there anything like?
yeah. And long story explaining everything he sees, like it's melting, that this is gone. Everyone's we're eating people. They're eating people. We're eating people.
Me and Graf sort of. Okay.
I didn't know that we were eating people. So here's the goal. We don't become dinner, lunch, or breakfast.
All right.
Don't do
That
it.
is a that's a very that's a good goal to
Okay.
work toward.
So I don't know if we can leave yet, but I have to at least go see the big lady
I
and
sort
make
of
sure.
want to see the masked miraculous as well.
Yes, because it is what that's why we came to the party. So I'm going to go. If you like, everyone come. We're gonna. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's go have a dance.
Oh, that's right. I got to. She likes dancing. Okay, I can do it. I can. Yeah, I can do it.
Do you know how to dance?
No.
Okay. If
Do you
you're gonna
know
go
how to
through
count?
this,
Do
I
you
can.
count?
I know a little bit. I can show you a few steps.
Oh, well, not in here. Not in
Yeah,
here.
no, it's fine.
Let's go to the ballroom first, and
Yeah.
Let's. Okay.
I think we gotta get out of here soon.
Yeah, you all head back through that music room. When you look, that harpist is still there, still bleeding, but now those two men, they're not men anymore. They're skeletons, embraced together in death.
Is this something that only Scargor sees, or do we all see this?
No, just Gargor.
Cool.
And that guitar over in the corner that looked so elaborate is rotting out. The wood is falling apart. Yeah, go ahead.
They're skeletons. They're skeletons.
Oh, that stuff must be really good. Graf, by the way, I'll just mention, has not eaten or drunk anything but at this point or done anything because he's working. so that's why he was holding off until later to do anything like that. But seeing the effect on Scar, he's like, I'm not sure what's going on. But so briefly contemplates taking the guitar because he now knows its owner is no longer with us. But
what do we see of the two men on the couch? Like, this is like what we saw them earlier, like Graf and I, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna do anything with them. I think I'm just going to sort of like assist Graf in any like help he needs getting the guitar. While still keeping my eyes on Scargor, because I don't want Scargor to like wander off on his own in this stage.
The only thing I'm going to do with the guitar right now is if it looks like I can get away with it, I'm not going to bring it with me, but I'm going to move it to somewhere near the entrance so that I can grab it on the way out.
Yeah. That makes sense. So are you going to grab it and move it towards the entrance of the room, or are you going to take it into the foyer?
I think probably if we have a second, then I'll probably try to stow it. If I saw somewhere I could stow it near the foyer, the foyer, then I'll try to do that.
So
was that other room also kind of near? There was like the cloakroom was kind of near there too, right? Or
yeah, there's a cloakroom. There's like a closet where you can hang your coats as well.
Yeah, just put it in there.
So you walk out. Scargor, are you coming with him at all? Or are you gonna stay in the music room?
No, Scargor's leaving the music room and going towards the ballroom
The ballroom.
area.
Okay, so
So
you're
he's
splitting. Okay.
So he's going to wait for them first. He's going to wait outside the room. Once they get back together, his intent is to go to the ballroom, but he's going to wait for them because depending on how long they take.
Yeah. Wait for them wait for them inside the ballroom?
He's going to wait for them outside the ballroom.
Okay.
To join and go into the ballroom together.
Okay. So yeah, you see the foyer looks the same, except Arya's not there. But you do see, nothing's really changed, and you pop it in there, and you see a bunch of coats hanging.
Yeah, this is just basically going to be a quick. Yeah, this is like the quick run. This is just the quick getting stuff to the point just before. Yeah, and like, if there's time, I might grab the fur coat as well, but we'll. Then
no
do
problem.
the same thing with it. Yeah, just basically just stowing it in that closet, and then I will then try to hurry back to meet back up with Scargor.
Yeah. So outside this ballroom, you can hear music coming from within. Sounds really nice, actually. For everyone but Scargor, it sounds kind of off key. And as you are waiting outside, waiting for Graf to get back from running and doing his little errands, Arya comes from the dining room area and sees you and smiles. To the ballroom, I see. It's my favorite place.
What sort of dancing does the Master Magnificent enjoy? Sort of a waltz person, tango, line dancing? I'm not really sure.
A waltz. Oh, and she moves across the floor with such elegance. It's truly amazing.
Good to know. Thank you. Does she partake in any sort of libations? What kind of drink does she like?
I've never seen her partake in libations. I don't know if she does. Maybe not.
Oh, to know. All right. Well, I just look at Scargor and I'm just like, Graf can show you the actual moves, but waltzing is very, very simple. You just sort of move in a box. Just a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just sort of keep that up in your tempo, up in your brain, and you'll be fine.
I've seen it before, so I think I can do it. Wearing the armor might be difficult. It might be clumsy.
I would keep your armor on just in case. You never know.
But I'm not going to wear the sword or arm. I'm going to put those down.
I'll hold on to them for you.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Regal, trying to be regally here. I've been told that goes a long way.
Yes, I'm sure she will appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And I think I sort of I take Scargor's whatever weapon Scargor wants to give me and then sort of push him toward the entrance to the ballroom. And I'm also giving Graf a look like, oh, this is about to get bad probably, but I'm here for it.
So you're all heading into the ballroom then, right?
Yes.
Validating. Okay. So the two of you who are not a little high right now, it's grand. There's mosaics on the walls, expensive champagne. People are swirling around. There's a small stringed orchestra over there in the corner playing this amazing music. And then there in the middle is the Golden Mask Miraculous, and it is, you can confirm, the mask, the person you've been seeing in your dreams, Torn. And she's moving with such elegance and grace, spinning and twirling with partners, changing to a new one without a beat or question. Now, that's not exactly what you see, Scargor. There's a yellowing and broken chandelier hanging precariously above the dance floor. Dust covers everything. The music is off key and almost to the point of pain. And there's no string orchestra. It's coming from a gramophone. And up on the ceiling, rather than the beautiful designs that are up there that they see, they're there, but you see holes. Light coming through. But there she is, the Golden Mask Miraculous. And she's swirling and twirling with equally ragged guests, as equal as the rest of the room. And there's a raggedy servant holding a tray of Virhu's Blind ready to get anybody high who's willing to. And beside the gramophone is a pile of warped, nasty-looking records.
Torn, how do I look?
As handsome as the day you were born.
Actually, handsomer, because I was a child when I was born and I grew facial hair and makes me look really, really good.
Sure.
Okay, my hands. Okay, I can. Okay. And he's kind of prepping himself for the of overcoming his cowardliness to dance, and he's like, I can do this, and kind of beefy, and takes a step forward, stops, turns back around. I don't know. Can I do this?
You have got this. Trust me. You just keep the 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Your brain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. And then turns back around and
He's good with me. Yeah, he's good.
and kind of walks over and puts his hand out, realizing that it's wrapped, and just kind of like bows a little bit to just, lady, may I have this dance, please?
Of course. I always appreciate a dance with a new partner. Let's go.
My apologies if I'm rusty, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And he's actually counting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 as he's dancing.
She realizes that maybe you're not the most skilled dancer, but she's still, doing it. And seems with a smile. I mean, the way she's speaking, it sounds like she has a smile on her face. You cannot see her face; it's covered by a mask, a golden mask.
He remembers and it says, look into her eyes, look into eyes. So he's looking down at his feet, counting out, then looks up and goes, and gets this big smile, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You dance wonderfully.
And as you're kind of dancing and kind of swinging around this room, you're kind of entranced by this golden mask, and she's speaking very politely and kindly to you, and just being very like nobility, but like the highest like of pretending, right? But to you, maybe she's being honest. I don't know. Maybe that's what she is. But the rest of you, as you're kind of seeing this happen, you notice there's somebody in the corner behind the orchestra. And they are suited. They look like they're wearing a suit of some kind, but they're shadowy almost. Like you see them for a second out of the corner of your eye, and then they're not there.
Oh,
and then you look over and they're in the other corner.
Logically, Torn should probably investigate that. But Torn is thinking about the note and the secrets in the music or whatever it said. And is going over to the gramophone, and I am looking at this like the album that's playing, and then like all the sort of like rotted, moldy albums as well.
So what you see is a full orchestra.
Oh, okay.
What
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Cool. I am still gonna go over to the orchestra then and just sort of try to examine that, see if there's anything like Are their fingers bleeding? Like that sort of thing. Are they missing tongues?
They look pretty normal, but they don't look at you. Like they don't even. It's like they're looking ahead or looking at their instrument if they need to, but like they're not. They're not looking at you. It's like they don't even see you. Almost.
if I take out just like a random piece of food that I have in my pocket and toss it toward them, like I'm gonna like high a little bit and like I'm just trying to disrupt the flow of music. Does anything happen?
You toss it, and it lands on the first violinist. It lands on his forehead. It hits, and it rolls down his nose and lands on his lap, but he doesn't respond. He doesn't react.
Yeah, immediately gonna go find Graph.
I'm actually looking out for the shadowy figure.
So you, as soon as you get eyes kind of on it, you can't make out any features. It's just kind of shadowy. Like it's like the corners aren't even that shadowy until they're in them.
Are they moving a lot, or are they staying to like one corner?
So they move pretty quickly. Like when you notice them, they seem to, as soon as you give them even a blink or a look away, they move again. And it's way too fast. Like it's not, you don't see them move. They're there and then they're over there between them.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's almost like, like a DVD skip. Like
Yeah.
DVD skipping,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're ahead in a spot you shouldn't be, and they're obviously they had to have moved, but they're there.
Yeah. Just kind of, so we're looking around, we're looking back and forth as this is going on, as I'm sort of leaning kind of, I have a staff I've been sort of leaning on from time to time while I've been doing, sort of juggling things here. I'm just sort of sort of like saying to Ulrich as we're sort of looking, someone's got an agenda in here. You've got to be careful. You're gonna snipe at somebody in here. And as far as I see, the room is full of people dancing. Yes, or is it just the Mass Miraculous?
Yeah, you see people everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Got to keep an eye out here. What do you think? Should do something. Yeah, I gotta warn them. Gotta warn them. Okay. And so I'm gonna sort of quietly, reverently pocket Ulrich again, and sort of turn, sort of looking. I was closest to Torn. What's Torn doing?
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to like
Going.
sidle up to you, if that's cool, and be like, Graph,
I'm just
Graph,
staring
Graph,
into a corner. Yeah.
Graph, Graph, there's something wrong there. Something is very
Yeah,
wrong,
there's
right?
definitely somebody's casing us.
I thought you were
Somebody's
doing the
taking-
casing.
Yeah, so did I. We got competition. Someone's here looking around. They might have some kind of magic. They're moving around fast.
I think there's something wrong with the orchestra. I threw something at one of the violinists and they didn't react at all. You would think that they would at least maybe miss a note or something, but nothing happened. It's very strange. Very strange.
I mean, who knows what they do to the violinists in this place like this? Might just be par for the course of their training, but that said, no, it's.
Can I
we
try
have to get out of here.
try to find the jumpy person, shadow person? Can I try to like point them out?
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah. And so sort of, yeah, I'm sort of, if I see you looking, I'll kind of like try to direct toward where I'm looking and see if that helps.
Yeah, I'll look over at them and like see if I can get any sort of information from just glancing at them.
It's one of those things. It's like that you're looking at them, but the minute that you take your focus off of perceiving them to remember what they look like or to describe or to think about like at all, you forget. And it's so shadowy, like, but you swear that you're seeing, but wait a minute, I don't know what they look like, and then now they're over there, and I gotta look at them again to try to find like what they look like. And eventually, as you're both kind of pondering this person, you look around and you don't see them in any corner suddenly.
I think they've disappeared, Graf.
No, they're probably onto us. I knew we were looking.
You were making
Oh.
it quite obvious, you and your little friend there. You were just sort of.
I mean, he's
doing
better
well.
at it than I am sometimes, you know. All right. Maybe we better get Scar and get out of here.
So
What do
while
you
they've been
think?
kind of having this discussion, the Mass Miraculous is talking to you. She's like, "So what brings you here?"
I heard you have wonderful parties and wanted to partake and greet and say hello since you are a wonderful person.
Everyone says that. Do they really know me? It's a question.
Probably not.
The parties are good, though.
Mm.
It's our last hope. This world is so hopeless.
Yes, it is. But and you being last heir or last of your family, I hear. I'm sorry. Good luck with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. My father made some poor choices.
Mm.
Brought a lot of people around. People still come, but not in the way that they used to. Not when I was young. There's
Mm.
always a party. Always a lot of fun.
Mm. Scar's pondering, asking the question, but realizing that he's been told many times before that is a question you do not ask a lady. And he just kind of keeps them to himself. He's like, yes, that must have been a long time ago.
Oh, yes, quite some time.
Mm.
I'm afraid my father's actions may have. Well, they may have cursed us.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's good. I would offer assistance if I can, but I don't think I can help. And then he gets I don't think I can help.
That's unfortunate. If someone could help, that would be wonderful.
Well, I should ask, how can they help? Maybe I can. And he gets a little twinkle in his eye.
You see, every one of my kin, well, they've met an unfortunate end.
Hmm.
It's this curse, this thing that my father put upon us. I think it's centralized here in this house, and if someone could figure it out, that would be wonderful. I think it has something to do with the basement.
Oh.
Something he kept down there.
Maybe we can help. But I ask that. Okay. I have friends here. Let me talk to them to see if we can help you real quick.
The easiest way to get down there is, we hide the stairs just because we wouldn't want anyone who wasn't capable like yourself or your friends to go down there. I just don't know what the state of the place is anymore. It's in the greenhouse.
Okay. Thank you. I don't mean to be insensitive, but is there a reward?
Oh, a reward. Of course I have money. Is that a motivating factor?
Sometimes. But okay. Thank you for your lovely dance. My friends and I will take care of. We'll look into it if we can. And you say greenhouse, excellent. Again, graciously bows awkwardly and just turns her and starts walking away from her. Goes up to Torn. Torn.
Torn has this very, very worried look on their face as they're still sort of eyes darting around looking for the shadow person. So they don't look at you, but they what's going on?
Torn, I need sword limb. There's something bad in the basement.
Shoves them towards you.
Something bad in the basement. Music, that phonograph
What?
music is bad. Just so many weird people here.
What are you talking about? There's an orchestra.
No, that's a phonograph that's playing gross records. It's bad music. Anyways,
be nice
we need to
if
go into the basement because there's a curse in the basement, and we need to help the gold wonderful lady so that we can remove the curse. So
Hey,
we're going to the
Scarboy,
greenhouse to
wait,
go
just-
into the basement.
Wait.
Wait just a minute. Wait just a minute. Realizing they haven't told Scarboy about the secrets and the music thing, go over to the record player and just remove the needle.
Okay. And he promptly walks over and just kind of does one of these looks and then bumps the needle with his elbow.
The music immediately stops.
Oh,
And there's this moment from what the rest of you see where the orchestra just stops playing. Their hands stop moving. They stay in the exact position that they were, but their hands stop moving and they don't do anything about it. They just sit there.
You gotta be kidding me.
sorry. And I
Does the mass miraculous react at all?
So the way you're facing it first, you're just kind of looking at that, and then the whole room stops and turns and looks in your direction. And the mass miraculous, her shoulders kind of come up, and she looks at between the three of you, as though her eyes are focusing and unfocusing for a second. So it's about all you can see of her is her eyes through the mask. Turn the music back on.
yes, man. And I put the needle back on.
And then the orchestra plays up again on y'all's end.
Looking at Graf like,
Oh no.
Let's go. And I
Wait
just
a minute, that was for the
Scarboy
music.
just walks
Oh
out.
no.
I don't think we should go to the greenhouse.
No. But it's right, it's the curse, right?
Yeah.
If the music's the key to the curse. Damn it. I think that can you slow him down just a minute? I gotta look at something.
I'll do my best, and I'm gonna run out after Scargor and like just Scargor. You need to just for a second, just calm down. Just trying to get Scargor to not be in such a straight way to the greenhouse.
The only thing I'm gonna do, much to his own chagrin, is he's gonna head over to where the orchestra is. Graf is going to go ahead and light the pipe and take a hit off of it. He's gonna try not to do much, but he wants to at least try to see a little bit of what Scar has been seeing.
So, again, the room sort of melts. And the first thing that changes is the light coming from the ceiling that wasn't there. And as your eyes are sort of drawn upward towards that, you notice the chandelier and how very precarious it looks. And then, as you look back, as your eyes sort of blink from this like sunshine that you haven't had in quite a bit since you've entered, you blink that out, and then you look down, and in a moment of adjustment of your eyes, as though you're finally focused on a sign or something like that sort of moment where it clicks about what it says. But instead of it being a sign, it's your brain understanding that orchestra was fake. It's some sort of illusion. And what you're seeing in front of you is this gramophone. And as your eyes scan across the room, everyone looks a little more grubby. Everyone looks a little more gross. And the Mass Miraculous looks wonderful. But there's a certain, as she turns in a certain way, as she's being spun, there's something, you get a glimpse of her neck. And you can kind of see, it looks a little gray, maybe? Doesn't look quite right. Not the normal healthy skin tone. And you see that raggedy servant, and again that warped record, those warped records next to that gramophone.
So Graf, not having much time, is just going to glance around for a second. He's like, just as he becomes a little crestfallen. That he's like, how much stuff have I stolen that isn't really valuable? And he's like, Oh well. He's gonna really quick. He's gonna
Those
reach into his.
spoons mean nothing.
He's gonna reach into his
now.
pocket and he's going to look at a little bit of pull out a little bit of the silverware or the key or something just to look at it real quick, just to see if it looks different.
Yeah, the key looks tarnished, but it still is the same sort of key. It's just more tarnished and
Right.
old and
maybe this can be salvaged. Okay, all right. So he's not gonna be totally crestfallen then, but he's gonna look at the records, remembering what he can of the melody. He's been trying to hold it in his head, the melody that the harpist was playing. I'm gonna try to look through the records and see if I can find a title that clicks, basically, that looks familiar.
the any sort of labeling that's on these is starting to look peeled and worn. Nothing
Damn it.
really, and
Yeah.
they all look warped. Like if you put them on that thing, the sound that would come out would be horrendous, and it already sounds really bad through that really just crummy gramophone speaker.
Yeah. Sighs again. I assume that the thing they're playing right now, the record that's playing right now, is not the same melody that the harpist was playing. Or is it?
It sounds incredibly similar.
Damn it. Okay. How close is this record? Yeah.
You can hear the Mass Miraculous as she kind of swings past you. She's humming it too.
Bloody hell. All right. I don't know if it's going to be. I think that once we, if we get to a point, how much more of this record is there before it reaches the end?
It looks like it might be playing for a few more minutes at least.
Damn it!
But you don't really know, like with all of this thing, with everything that's going on, it could very well be that it's like enchanted or something, right? With everything that's happening.
It could be. Yeah, it might never stop. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough of that. He's just gonna kind of. Are they like cylinder? Is it a cylinder thing, or is it actually like platter type records? Sorry.
It's probably a cylinder type thing, given the like technological advances sort of thing.
Yeah.
Here, I would assume.
Okay, so he's gonna, seeing it, he's gonna shake his head. He's gonna just grab a couple of because these cylinders might actually be worth something. So he's gonna grab like one or two of them and pocket them, and then he's going to dash back out because he thinks it's going to be more dangerous to stop the record than it will be to go on without it at this point. So,
as you all kind of walk out of this ballroom, Arya is in the music room, just sort of she's standing there and she's like, it seems like she might be listening to the harp music, and directly behind her, in one of those sort of scenarios where if you move a little bit to the left or to the right, you can see something. But it's like she's kind of almost blocking it. You see that shadowy figure behind her on the way to that's the way to the dining room. And that thing is standing in that hallway, but it's not looking at you. It's faced towards the dining room, and the dining room doors are open.
Okay, good to know. I am not inclined to mess with it. But I will tell the others, or if they've I don't know if they've noticed it or not, but I will mention that to the others. That was kind of saw a friend over there. Looks like they're busy with something.
Skark or Arya? We'll see Arya. Will he see Arya in the hallway and stuff like that? So it's just, Arya, sorry to disturb you. Question.
Oh yes.
I've been sent to go to the greenhouse to get something. Where is it?
Are you going to go after the curse?
I've just been sent to go to the greenhouse. Can you show me where the greenhouse, or tell me where it is, please?
Of course. She takes you back through that bedroom area where the others were, and the body's gone. And as you look around this room, those of you who are now swifty, as it were, You see there's a meat cleaver where that body was. There's a meat cleaver on the bed right there. And that robe. Did you get that robe, Graf? Did you pick it up?
The fur coat, yeah, I stuck it in the hall closet.
Okay.
Which actually I am gonna swing by the hall closet again if we're heading to the greenhouse.
Are you holding the finds from that robe, like whatever you found?
Yes.
Is it on
Yeah.
your person?
I've got the gems and stuff.
So as you walk back in this
Some
room,
of actually no, they're in the bag that Torn had. They're in Torn's bag.
Oh, okay.
I've got the scroll.
The scroll.
That
Okay,
was
you're
in
good.
there. Yeah.
You're good.
But I
so
do want to grab the guitar on the way over to the greenhouse,
Yeah,
though, because
so
I have a
when you-
terrible feeling I'll need it.
Well, when you pick it up,
Yeah.
you realize that it's the wood on it is kind of soft in some spots, like it's gotten water damage or something like that, and there's mildew on it, and you know it didn't look like that when you picked it up before.
Does it look like it will play still, possibly?
It might. It might.
All right.
It would be almost impossible to tune.
Yeah.
But it might play.
I'm gonna have to bring the damn thing. Yeah. Okay.
So you head through this bedroom. Again, the differences in this room are pretty stark. It looks a lot grosser than it did before. And as you move, there's a door in the back, and Arya, was that her name? Yes. Arya takes you, opens that door, and through the back is this beautiful greenhouse. That same black ivy from the front is everywhere. But there's a difference in what you two who are high see versus what the other one does. So what you see, what Torn sees is a beautiful greenhouse. That black ivy is everywhere, but there's butterflies, there's flowers, and as soon as you walk up, these flowers bloom right for you. And this colored glass that's all around, it makes the room gold. It's gorgeous, lined with beautiful flowers, and it smells beautiful with all of this aroma of just floral. Oh, it's amazing. However, those of you who are seeing the other side, seeing the other things, you see the same black ivy. You see soil, though, and there's plants in it, but they look wrong, like fleshy. As you walk past one, you see, is that a kidney growing off of that one? In the dirt, like a potato? And another, is that a root? Or is that a bit of entrail running through the soil, pulsing, moving, digesting?
Gargor's kind of like, okay, sword comes out. Where's the stairs? We're going. Because he's a center focused individual.
Before we go, so I don't know Graf has taken the drug, right? Graf did that when he was by himself. Correct? Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
So I go over to Squarkor. Is Arya still in the room?
She stopped at the door.
I sort of grab Scargor by the arm, and this might just be Katie thinking weird. I'm like, does Arya look any different to you?
Yeah. Oh, Arya?
Arya,
she's in robe. She's in rags, but I don't judge.
Does she look different than how she did when we first came in?
Skin tone, everything else.
On Arya, so Arya looks like she's pretty well put together still. And she's like a maid sort of vibe going with her. There is something about her that is a little bit different. It's maybe a glow of some kind. That sort of almost like her skin looks like poreless almost.
I share that poor list. Yeah, she's just fine like that. Yeah.
I look over at Graph and I was like, I could just be getting, just getting my terms mixed up, but isn't aria a type of music?
Yeah, I think so.
And the curse is
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what
music.
Yeah, that's funny. I think I grabbed this thing.
What about aria?
Just looks back and forth and like,
Arya, quick question.
Of course.
The stairs downstairs, there's a curse down there, right?
Yes. Something is keeping the curse going. I dare not go down there. I've heard horror stories.
What is down there? What have you heard?
A still beating heart.
oh, that makes sense. Just say looking around the garden, and this actually is it's quite an innovative way to save costs. Actually, no, it's just sort of say looking around at the meat trees and everything, just going back.
Arya, I have an important question to ask.
Okay.
How is this? Are you in league with curse?
League with a curse? How would one do such a thing? Can
I don't
alliances
know.
be created between evil magics and humans?
That's why I asked. I don't know.
Nothing of the sort. But
Okay, just want to make sure.
As you're looking at Arya, and she's standing in the doorway, and there's like a step down into this greenhouse. You notice that figure is now in that room, and it's actually standing where that body was over that mattress. But it's sort of in that way where, like, if you slightly move, you see it, and it's right behind her, though, almost like a shadow, almost, but not exactly behind her, like a few steps back.
This is a reach, Marlo,
No.
and
Mhm.
feel free to shut me down. But so I have a sacred shepherd's crook that can cut through worlds, is what it says. I don't know what the fuck that means. I want to try to
Okay.
hook this shadow by the neck and just like, yeah, come here.
So it does what now? It cuts through worlds?
It
is that what you're
says
saying?
it's inscribed. Its head a hook of human bone inscribed with overlapping anti-prayers. This crook hooks through other worlds. It does damage except to faithless humans. So but I'm not really trying to damage. I just want to like get it around. Like I just want to hook this shadow's neck and just yank him in.
So you all down in the greenhouse, you want to. Arya is like speaking to Skargor, like,
yeah. I'm
involved in this
moving and sort
conversation.
of being like just like, not nondescript, so I don't want to like let them know what I'm about to do and then just hook.
So as you do that and you move up and you're keeping your eyes on it, because before when it was reacting, it was kind of moving almost in your blinks.
Mhm.
Or at even the slightest look away, you've got your eyes on it, and its back is towards you, and it's standing with its arms kind of apart, like it's getting ready to, like, I don't know, move really quickly, or so. It's trying to pounce or take off or something like that. And as you get around Arya, who's in this conversation and not really paying that much attention, as you bring this hook around and hook it around the neck, you hear this inhuman screech. And Arya wails and turns around and looks at you, and you see her for real this time as that thing lurches backwards. And her poreless, beautiful face is not the face of a maid. Barreling around the corner from that ballroom, you see the Mask Miraculous come around. And Arya looks up at you with hatred in her eyes. You couldn't just make it simple, could ya? You couldn't just head down to the basement and let my friend here murder you.
I've never made anything simple in my life.
Now, here we are. Doing it here, right in the house. Great. Now everyone can watch as I kill you and feed you to it. The house. It has to eat, doesn't it? And that creature has spun out of the hook and is standing there. And as it's standing there, it looks like. Let me pull up the description here. Its skin is white, deathly white. And its eyes, you're finally able to see it and focus on its features, and its eyes are black. And there's this sort of aura of smoke emanating off of it as it heaves each breath in with a. Its teeth are sharp, filed to a point. And it moves in this way that's almost jerky. Like, again, like you've got a DVD that's skipping and you're catching only the snippets of its movement. It's no longer wearing a suit, but long robes that are made of the same sort of smokiness that's coming off of its skin, out of its nose, from its eyes, out of its mouth. And you see, as it's coming off, suddenly that smoke changes from going out to coming in as it breathes in all of that smoke and looks you down. And Arya shakes her head. You see, the easiest thing to do is let everyone take their eyes off of me and put them on her. And she points to the Mask Miraculous. You see, she's not the heir. I am. And the Mask Miraculous reaches and pulls this mask off of her face to show this corpse below, animated by that same black smoke that seems to be emanating throughout the house. We like to make it simple, easy. But you couldn't leave well enough alone. You had to ask questions. Yes, an aria is a kind of song, and yes, I am the key. Thanks. This fool who died here, he had the secret. He knew. That's why he couldn't live. And now, all three of you must die. And that thing just starts toward you. Everybody, let's go ahead and go into an actual initiative.
Yeah.
I don't think y'all know how proud I am that I figured that out.
You did. You put it together.
Fucking
And you know
idiot.
what? The funniest thing was I didn't even realize that was the connection there. I was like, what do they mean by song? And then I read it. I was like, oh, they do mean arias. I was like, what a great put together. You did it.
Finally, being loving theater my whole life has finally paid off.
Love it. Okay, so initiative is a D6.
So my understanding is one person
agility
rolls.
plus- yeah.
Is it just what? Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm sorry. My mistake. Yeah. So it's a D6 plus our agility, correct?
Plus agility, yeah. So then, it looks like, yeah, you're right. I think one person rolls, and then we decide if the enemies begin first, or that roll will determine whether enemies go first or player characters begin first.
So my understanding is we all roll a D20 for the initiative order, and then the 1D6 determines who gets to go first. Either the actually no, that's not right. It's D6 and then whoever wants to go in that.
Right, and we'll just go that
So who wants to roll that D6?
You need a 4 through a 6
plus
for
1,
players.
so it's probably not good for me to do it.
Oh, plus
It's just
if you've taken the stuff, your D6, your agility goes down too.
Oh, it
So-
would count for this as well. So yeah, I shouldn't do it.
So, well,
So
I mean, you're fine. You haven't taken the stuff, but they have. Because Verhu's Blind, it'll give you a plus, adds a D2 to presence rolls, but a negative D2 to agility rolls. But this is initiative. So we'll call it straight for initiative. I don't know.
Doesn't
So-
matter to me.
So based off of my one person out of the group rolls a d6. So if it's a whatever, depending on just that dice 6 roll, indicates who gets to go first, enemies or the person. No additional pluses or anything like that.
This
So-
one, the cheat sheet from Mork Borg says it's agility plus, but yeah. And then
Okay.
after that, we're good.
Okay.
Agility
your
plus
D6.
D6. No.
But that says
guess-
individual, so I'm not really sure. We'll just roll the d6 and we'll go with that. That's fine.
I got a 4. So I don't know if y'all know what we're
Yeah,
going to do with
that's
that.
player characters begin first, so I think that's
Okay.
good.
Yay!
Okay.
So whoever wants to go first, just jump in, and then I'll make sure all 3 of you go, and then we'll move it to the.
I think
That
since
is-
I have my hook around the shadow thing's neck, is that like a creature we can attack?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm just going. I wasn't like meaning to do damage before, but like now that I know this is an actual serious threat, I just sort of want to like twist the hook to like sort of like try to crack their neck a little bit. I do 2d4 damage, so.
Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and let's see. So in order to hit, hold on.
Melee range or defense. Is this melee?
Yeah, it's melee for sure.
So it's a 12 strength.
Yeah, you're right. Great.
Okay. And I'm rolling a d20 on that?
Difficulty rate is DR stands for difficulty
yeah.
rating. Yep. Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
roll it plus your strength. Yeah.
Plus
D20.
1 strength. Okay. Okay, cool. I have a -1. Okay, so a 14.
Cool. So you hit. Now let's roll that beautiful bean footage damage.
I rolled 2 4s, so an 8.
8. Nice. That's really good. This was much harder when I played it, and everyone like did a generator and had like really dinky characters. Like it's
This is from a generator. I just got really lucky.
you did. You did. So let me look at this thing. Let's get this ready.
I think I just sort of like quickly pop the hook. So I'm like, whatever, I don't, bone, shadow, whatever. I'm just like trying to like disengage this creature, make it incapacitated, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, you pull and you hear a crack and it screeches and kind of tumbles out of the hook and kind of falls kind of prone on the ground. Because you hit it pretty dang hard. That was dope. Because
Making up for all my
writhing.
2s.
Yeah, it's writhing and it looks like that spot where that hook was touching is like burning it.
Nice.
Who wants to go next?
Graf, you go because Skargor is puzzled by everything that's happening right here.
I'm gonna kind of yeah. So what you see Graf doing is he's just sort of shaking his head and it's kind of like, God, no, I can't do this right now. Cannot. Guess I'm gonna have to. This is ridiculous. All right, fine. You help me with this. And he just sort of looks up and he looks back up at you. I need a moment. And shaking his head, not being able to believe he's doing this. He's trying to stay behind the others, putting them between him and the creature. He's gonna set Ulrich on top of the on top of the guitar, sort of at the top of the handle, so that he's there for moral support. And sort of he's with his hook, he's gonna try desperately to with his hook have his hook around the top point, so he can depress some of the strings as he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And with his free hand, he's going to start playing, and he's going to try to remember this melody that's been going through his head this whole time that he's been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to play the song.
So what comes out of this guitar is you're trying to play and like, press these strings down to this fret, and you can feel the wood of the neck bending as you're pressing, but something's coming out, and it is pretty similar to what you heard, and it sounds pretty good. Let's see, is there some kind of check we can do to kind of see? Bebop. Because you're trying to play this, your intent is to use the music in a way that...
Yeah, basically, he doesn't know if he's put absolutely everything together, but Graf is thinking that if the music is the key, which is, if the song is the key to it all, and that this box belonged to the musician who was murdered, and they just told us that he figured it out. He figured out, which Graf is assuming means he figured out how to end the curse, and he left this note saying that the song is the key to it all.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, play the song.
So
something will happen, he hopes.
rather than like a strength roll or something, let's get a presence.
All right.
Building.
You say while we're under the
this like it's magic.
And so whilst we're under the influence, we get a bonus to
Yes.
that, do we not?
Mm-hmm.
The D2, you said?
Yeah, you add additional D2.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna roll a D4 and just take whichever of the plus my D20 and hope for the best. All right. So I have some terrible news.
What happened?
So I rolled a 1 on the die.
No.
This is not going to go well. I mean, so like if the 1 counts for as a number, then it would be like a total of 5. But yeah, that's not gonna be very helpful. No.
Yeah, you can. So as you're playing this, and you feel this sort of like, as it's hitting, there's this sort of backbeat that you realize is coming from somewhere. But before you kind of figure out where, your finger slips, and you hear a little bit of the neck crack. Still playable, but might not be if it's if it goes any further.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can feel it sort of as you were playing. It feels sort of welling through you, and then there's sort of beat that comes in. But you before you can kind of like suss it out. Dang. All right, Skargor, what you gonna do?
So Skargor is like very confused about I danced with I thought that was you. I was having a fun dance, but wait a minute, we're fighting now? Oh, Cuddles, attack! Ankles, go for the... And then I realized that Cuddles isn't here, and the disappointing look of like, oh no, we're in trouble, because I'm reluctantly having to fight, takes the big sword out. I was going to offer myself to you, and then stabs Arya.
So let's see. Arya has some statty stats too. Let's see what we got here. So give me a roll to hit, right? That's
Strength attack roll. All right.
Yes.
So that is going to be a double check here, 13 from the looks of it with my sword.
Nice. Yes, that hits.
All right. Now, if I on a D6, if I roll a 1 or 2, she gets additionally poisoned, which I didn't. But she takes 3 points of damage as I try to hit her with the sword and go, I'm sorry for this, but I think I'm supposed to hit you. I didn't want to, but I thought maybe we could talk. But I guess we're doing this.
I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. She looks at the stab wound and is just like totally appalled that you've done this. But she's still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's not as like slight and small maid lady as she presents, which we already know she isn't. But
like I said, I was going to offer myself to you for further thing, but I guess that's not what we're doing here.
Shit. Well, we could still no. You hear the screech from behind as your your friend attacks the other thing, and it's like this is insanity. So now it's the baddie's turn. The monster is and again, this is it's kind of like slid across the ground a little bit, like when it like kind of tried to fall out of this thing. So it did that, and then now it's kind of on the ground as it's kind of jumps up, puts its hands onto the ground, and starts running at you like a dog, Torn. And it's coming with them sharp teethies.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me go somewhere I have dice. Hello, dice. Okay. Yeah, it did not. So it's running at you, and as it comes to bite down, it sort of skitters and it slides, and as it's reaching its neck out to reach, it realizes that burn is like affecting it, and its neck kind of just like pulls and stops right before it can get to you, and it's sort of like its legs skitter out from underneath it, and it lets out this wail again as it's still stinging and burning from that spot. So it thought it could do a thing. It couldn't. It rolled terribly. I rolled terribly. So.
Just look at it and just go, bad dog?
Yeah. Then the Mass Miraculous looks at the three of you, then looks at Graf. And I don't know if there's stats for her. Hold on. Let me verify this. No, there are not. We're gonna wing it. She she like pulls from her like dress, her like horribly ornate dress, this dagger, and comes and starts to take a swing at you, Graf, with this dagger. Let me roll again. Oh, that's a very nice roll.
Since Skorgar's kind of in the way, would he get it?
Skorgar's in front?
Yeah, he's kind of in front of Graf.
Oh,
yeah, I remember I
protecting
maneuvered
Graf.
to put them both between me and them.
Okay, yeah. So she is like, she heard the music starting to play and looks very irritated, but then sees Skorgar in front and is like, get out of my way. I shall have that music.
No.
And her dagger comes at you. It only is going to do 2 damage. Can you deflect such damage with your...
Considering I'm wearing heavy armor and I took -4, it just kind of pings off the armor a little bit. Yeah. He kind of looks down and like, that's what I do. I just stand here.
Yeah, then Arya also is going to... Let me think about this. She is going to, and I'm not sure, again, I'm trying to find the rules on it. I don't see like rules for like disengaging.
Just movement. You can just move and get out of the way. That's fine. There's
no like attack of opportunity for that.
I don't believe so. No.
So she like looks at you and then bolts down into the greenhouse and is heading towards the back of the greenhouse. That's where she's going.
Okay.
So yeah, back to the top. Whoever would like to go from the players.
Seeing that Arya is bolting, I would just like to spin my little hook around in a little bit of flourish and brain her in the back of her head.
Yeah, give me that. Yeah, roll to hit.
I rolled an 18 minus 1, so 17.
There you go. You ring it around and you hit her, and as soon as you do, you hear it hit hard, and then there's like a searing sort of sound with it. So it hits and then it like sears, and she screams out and grabs the back of her head and falls to the ground. How much damage?
7.
Oh yeah. And as she falls and she sort of hits the ground, you hear she's like scraping across the ground trying to get away, but she's not able to get up. Like she's like kind of her head's kind of doing the woo dizzy thing as she's trying to get away still. Cool. So then the who's next? The players.
Gargaro, look at are we we're taking her out, right?
Yes, 100%
Okay.
kill her.
And then he goes up and stabs her in the back as she's on the ground.
You hear her cry out, and she lets out a cry that this creature mimics, but it's more high pitched, more like Nazgul-y, like and she's laying there bleeding out and looking up at you like, you're still going to die. My creature, it will come. And even if it doesn't kill you, those damn basilisks, they'll take us all out anyway. The end times are here. What does it matter if you die and feed my home, or live to be eaten alive when the world ends?
I prefer when world ends. That's when I will die.
Yep. Fuck the basilisks.
Yeah.
That's a hard word to say when I'm not have vocal fry.
Unfortunately, only a 10 as I'm distracted by these words as I try to stab her.
Yeah. She dies. The light goes out of her eyes, and her inhuman visage starts to melt, and you see below this horrible, disgusting skin just sagging off of the meat. Totally disgusted look. And the creature behind begins to melt into the house, and the Mask Miraculous herself falls. And the only thing you can hear at this point at the is that same backbeat you heard, Graf.
Yeah, Griff is his brother.
Some sort of beat, but you realize it's not just any beat. It's a heartbeat. And it's coming from the floorboard.
So I was wondering if there might be a chance of just doing that in case that helps us in any way.
Yeah. So you want to use it to re-roll what, like you're trying to perform?
Yeah, the one that I just did horribly on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we don't have time.
You're playing and you start playing again and you pick it up because you realize that what that backbeat is, and you start like
Showing
moving
love.
faster and faster with that song. Suddenly you hear that beat is followed, begins to beat too fast, erratically, and it starts moving so quickly that suddenly you hear it, you feel it. The house rattles as it explodes. And from a camera view, as we see this thing explode, you can feel the whole house crumbling around you. And you all make it, and you run out of the front doors. And as you're running through the foyer, you see blood-soaked everything. The things that you thought were petals were actually dead blood that they were feeding this house. And as you run out and it starts to crumble in on itself, and you stand outside looking outside, the beggar out front says, "You broke your promises, but you won." And that's where we'll end it. Everyone, thank you for playing. It was been amazing. Thanks for watching. We've got to head out very quickly here because we are trying to wrap up for the next game to get out of the way. But we're going to run through our outros real quick. Let's go ahead and start with Jay. Jay, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and any other projects you're working on.
Hi, I'm Jay, also known as NeoFet3 on the socials. You can find me on my channel at The Emporium for the Wayward Gamer, or Emporium Wayward Gamer. I am a Star Wars GM. I run there. I also run some D&D of Saltmarsh Legends at the Emporium. Also, you can find me on various charity events and later on also at Gamehole Con, Gary Con, and some of the other cons in the area where I run Star Wars and get to be a player once in a while. But yeah, so Wednesdays, Thursday, and in the Champions of Eclipse here with a friend of mine. So take a look at the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. That's pretty much where you can find me, and I lurk in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. All right, Jim.
Hey, thank you very much. This was awesome. Thank you, Marla. Thank you, Val. I'm Jim Ryan. I am at OtherDoc, OTHERDOC, on both Twitch and Twitter. Come see me run Don't Rest Your Head on Twitch, and various other people run various wonderful things. Both Marlo and Katie are in a game of Cult we're doing right now. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. This was awesome.
Amazing. Thanks, Katie.
I'm Katie. You can find me all over the internet at KatieFace. Like Jim says, I'm a game on his channel, but anything I do, I post on my Twitter. Bright and early in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be over on Friends Who Roll Dice, playing in another charity game where people decided what race and class I'm playing in D&D. It's going to be very fun. Come hang out if you are up at the Ass Crack of Dawn.
Great. I'm Marlo. I've been your GM tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Marlo Bogwitch with 2 G's. You can find me there if you want to reach out, want me to play a game with you. I love horror, love to be in games, love to run games, love to be in things. So check me out there. Only other projects I got going on right now, I'm over on Jim's channel every other Tuesday playing Cult. And you can find me always at the Misconceptions Podcast Network, where we have one show that it's on indefinite hiatus, but it's 5e, Kids Looking for the Missing Father is a lot of fun. We also have Tales to Inspire, which is an alternate history superhero show. So it's the history of the world, but if we had superheroes, and we've already really fucked up the timeline with the first season. So I do not know what the end of this show is going to look like, but it's great. So check that out if you're interested in hearing about punching Nazis, because that's what we're doing. First season set in the 1940s. Other than that, this has been Vanity Bleeder. It's a lot of fun. There's lots of things that we didn't actually get to do, so I would encourage you to go out and check it out. The layout's really great, Fleet's really great, and if you want to check out Fleet, you can find her stuff over at Fleet Dietrich. It's FleetDetrik.itch.io. So if you want to check her out, check out her itch. She's got a ton of other games out, and she's always coming out with new stuff. So she's a great person to follow and watch. So yes, thanks for watching. We've had a lot of fun, and of course, thanks to Val for running this and for reaching out to me to run this. I was very excited to run it, and I am very excited to run it for you all. So thanks a lot. Have a great one, and catch us for the next one. Don't go away. Don't go nowhere. You stay.
Here, the disembodied voice of God is telling you that at noon we have another game, Ballad of Conjurers, with the dev, Nathan Blades, running it, and you can catch me and a few others there at noon, so please don't go away. Hang the fuck out, and we will see you in less than 30 minutes. Everybody wave. Bye. We love you.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
It's good.
Bye now. Bye.
Good days.